This is not a test. This is not a test. This is not a test. I don't know if you can hear me. This is not a test. This is not a test. I don't know if you can hear me.
while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
not a test.
Alright, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and can will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have them present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questionings if you wish. Alright. You good, dude?
Yeah. Now you're gonna feel a little pressure.
Okay.
And there it is. Big breath out. Oh! You good? Sorry about the table. That was a little more than a little pressure.
Yeah, I think I'm.
All right, here we go. Deep breath.
Oh, gee willikers!
All right, that should fix the neck issues, man.
My knitters feel better now.
Wow, I love it!
I love you too. Okay. All right. Nice deep breath in for me and let it out.
Okay.
A little pressure. Oh, there it is. One more.
Oh, my word!
Whoa! Are you okay?
Head poked out like a turtle. Posture's a mess, son.
Camera, just a little pressure between the shoulders. Deep breath for me.
All right, doctor.
Good. And
Oh, wait, what are
need a
you?
little leverage.
Oh, dear.
Here we go.
Oh,
Whoa.
you broke the table.
All right, Mr. Collins, just stay relaxed. Big breath in and out. Here we go. There it is.
Ooh, that popped like popcorn.
Feeling looser?
Yeah, lighter already.
Respira profundo, eso es, a la cuenta de 3, ¿listo?
Dale.
1, 2, 3.
Ah! Ay, caray.
Tranquilo, salió bien, respira suelta.
All right, ma'am. Nice and easy. Count to 3 for me.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3.
Good. Yes! I won't lose my license today.
Just relax your shoulders. Let me have your head. Breathe out.
Whoa!
Hold on, pick me. Grab my hand. Grab. Ah!
Jesus.
What just happened?
I don't know. The floor just gave out. Somebody call 911.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh, that was good.
All right, Joyce, just a little percussion here. Breathe easy for me. Good. And big one.
Oh,
There it goes. A couple small ones up top. Nice release.
Much
How's that
better
feel?
already.
Great. We'll work down. Just breathe for me, Mr. Kellum. Nice and easy. I'm going to open up the mid back, okay?
all right.
I'll try. And exhale. Whoa, Mr. Kellum, sir. Hang on. I'm all right. I'm so sorry. Just stay still.
Hey, good dudes. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I am dead on those. I am dead on those. That is AI. It is AI. Please continue to go see your chiropractors on a regular basis. It's okay. Oh my goodness. Good evening, True Crime Guardians. Today is November the 8th, Saturday, November the 8th. It is 7:30 Central Time here in Texas. I'm waiting for the temperature to drop. It's going to get cold. We're going to have our first freeze here in Dallas. We'll see if that actually happens. True Crime Butterfly. Stop by to say hi. I'll be back. I think True Crime Butterfly came to me from Allegedly Speculating, and then I noticed that they were in Salty Sleuths as a moderator. So that's awesome. Thank you, True Crime Butterfly. Cindy from sunny South Florida. Hello. Hello. We don't get, well, yeah, we get frost and ice and stuff sometimes. Sometimes. See you soon. Good to see you. Thank you, Dandy. Allegedly Speculating says she hit the thumbs up in case she was asleep. I need to know how to do the trailers. Let's do it, girl. Let's do it. I need to find out if Allegedly Speculating wants to hang out a little bit on Sunday and do something fun. Southern Cats, hi. How are you? Welcome in. Happy Saturday. Jenny Jen, with your little side-eye chihuahua. It's so good to see you. A little bit of Lisa, hello. Hello. Hannah, I hope you're being safe. Are you at work today? Do it, lady. Do it, lady. Oh, sorry. If we can find the phone call recordings in order with Knickerbocker, we will do them. This is the last night we're going to cover the 2025 parole hearing, and I'm ecstatic about that. We're 2 hours into a 4-hour parole hearing. Y'all know we be talking and losing place and talking about all the stuff in between. Diane wants to ride her bicycle. She wants to ride her bike. Is that a song? What song is that? I don't know that song. Cindy, you still have to catch up on the first parts, but you're going to hang out with us, and I really appreciate that. Nowhere I'd rather be than hanging out with y'all tonight. Hey! Hi, girl. Hey! Rubber Ramada, your listening ears again tonight, but know that. Oh, I'm listening. Beware of my erratic posts. Girl, don't be drinking and typing. Don't be drinking and typing. That's scary. You know, it's funny that I hear your voice in my head. Oh my goodness. Teresa, hello. Hi. Hello. Hi, how are you? You can't watch that? Does it make your back hurt? Son of a nutter butter. We need to get that on we need to get that in a sound bite. Thank you, Hannah. Always coming in with the facts. That was AI. Who else is never seeing a chiropractor again? Indy, hello. Hola, hola. Hola. Definitely not showing your chiropractor that, huh? Where is the rest of my... Oh, okay. My goodness, I couldn't get it to scroll down. Teresa, Hannah, hi. Ace, hi. Oh, look at that puppy. What a cute baby. You guys are having thunderstorms? Yeah, we get frost. In February, we get ice. Oh, and Cycloramata says, Cindy, erratic. 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 Adjective. Not even a regular in pattern or movement. Unpredictable. Love you, woman. I'm here. You're working. Please be careful. Hannah is mixed up in the C-19, so keep yourself safe. We are secure. We are secure. Bikes too. So sorry, I haven't been able to be in both lives most of the week. Have been dealing with a really bad sinus infection all week. I'll be listening. Jenny, I really just appreciate you showing up and being here every single time I'm live. I don't have any words for that. And I know that allegedly feels the same. The in between has definitely been fun. You have my permission to share my art when you get to that. I definitely will. I got your other email and I will share that tonight. Have you been working on your Redbubble? If you work on your Redbubble and you email me that, I will get your link out into the chat. Now you want to ride your bicycle. Oh, it is a song. I want to ride my bicycle. What song is that? I want to ride my bicycle. Oh! Oh, yeah, I can't be playing Queen on here because they will take me down. My back is ruined. Oh. You have a freeze warning for Monday? You love a good chit show. Do it, lady. Yeah. Secured my husband. I fed him. He's scrolling on his phone. I put him in his chair in the living room. Kids and animals are secure too. Ooh, good. Ooh, good. And how about the geese? You already put the geese to sleep? I'm late, but I'm here. Twisted Quill, it is so nice to see you in chat. I hope you are feeling well today. We did send all the most positive vibes to you yesterday. I hope you are doing good. Do not do it, lady. Do not do it. Oh, for gosh sakes. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, yesterday, in our fun filled adventure of day 3 in the psychology of denial, of whom is Diane Downs. She was laughing at inappropriate times, which she appears to do in all of her interviews, everywhere, all over the place. She was drawing maps of somebody's apartment somewhere that looked a whole lot like the prison. Skibbity Foopa Flap was in chat today in Allegedly Speculating's live. Mods, would you do me a favor? Please drop Allegedly Speculating's link, or allegedly please drop your link and let everybody know where you're hanging out. If you did not know, Allegedly Speculating is up to 15,000 subs. 15,000 subs. It's an amazing amount of work that she's been putting into her channel, and I've been hanging out in that chat since she was just a wee little baby channel. A wee little baby channel. She is doing all of the updates on some of the YouTube street dramas that are happening around the area. She also does all of the Jack and Lily updates. She's been updating the David case, Austin Drummond case. She is also one of the first creators to put out the Michelle Martin's case interviews. Michelle Martin's case interviews. The unreleased Michelle Martin's plea deal interview, an unreleased immunity interview. She had Austin Drummond's jailhouse confession. Yeah, this girl's got it going on. So thank you very much. Rubber Ramada, please drop your link as well. Rubber Ramada is well on her way. She is doing hashtag road to 500. She does case trials. She does live chases. She has been doing whatever she wants to do. Whatever she wants to do. She runs 2 channels, but as of late, we have been promoting Rubber Ramada to try to get her up to where she needs to be. She is at 223 subs right now. If you guys would sub up, the quicker we get her to 500, the quicker she can monetize. She's been doing Maxwell Anderson coverage, Daisy Link coverage, Carlos Hernandez coverage, the Julio Fulio trial. And she also did coverage on why she was mad at JLR for getting us kicked out of Barrymore Few. Thanks, JLR. Jessica Kelly's side has never been told. Yeah, you were right. You feel weird promoting yourself? Girl, do it. Do it. How else are you supposed to get your name out there? What you supposed to do? You had been not supposed to do drama, but you did cover hidden true crime and the drama that has ensued behind that. And it is definitely a watcher. You guys make sure you go out and see what she's got going on. You're welcome. I'm also going to say that she is one of the only people that I know that starts all of her videos out with the scroll of missing children updated regularly. Allegedly, think of it as educational reform, not trauma. Ooh, we just Twisted Quill just invented the new sector. Allegedly speculating, and we are in the educational reform sector of YouTube. Rubber Ramada is also part of the educational reform. The educational reform sector. Yes. So, everybody remembers last night about the romper. We had a thigh high sleeveless romper that made it into the story quite beautifully. Diane Downs scaled over a fence and met her honeybun for their first date in her blue thigh-high sleeveless romper using her nightsticks. She fell to the other side on top of her honeybun's bicycle, where they drove away slowly to his house where his wife and where his wife resided. He took Diane home to meet his wife. How did she meet said Honeybun? Oh, that's another story entirely. Said Honeybun's other wife is was a prison mate of hers, and that's how they met. Ever so slowly on a bicycle, leaving a snail trail. You're put put girl, put your phone in the basket.
That is not correct. Because according to the encyclopedia of...
Ridiculous. So time out. You're gonna have to do something because that just made my tummy hurt. Thigh high blue denim sleeveless romper. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's the only way I can put a positive on all the drama. I'm so disappointed that I thought she was a quote unquote good person. Yeah. I think a lot of people are disappointed in some of the things that are happening. No, girl. You go ahead. Go on with yourself. And put her up here so you can think about what you just said. Think about what you just said. Look what you done. Look at that face. That is a face. No, remember that, okay? No, he's back there asleep though. I don't think he's snoring, but he's got two dogs on each side of him, so he's tucked in like a little baby in a crib. You're gonna pocket mod. Every time you think about the bicycle song, when I hear that, I got a brand new pair of roller skates in my head. You don't want to remember that? There's a whole new meaning to a face only a mother could love. I definitely don't want to be thinking about any snail trails. But we do know that she loves caulk because not only did she escape, but in later years she was peeling caulk and mortar off of the sides of the windows like Shawshank Redemption. If only, the chat said, she had a John Travolta poster in front of it, then maybe she wouldn't have got caught. But she had 10 days on the outside of the prison to eat all the caulk she wanted before she was put back in jail. So yeah. No, Hannah. That's not how you spell it. No, Hannah.
That is not correct. Because according to the encyclopedia of...
You're not going to get me to say it tonight. I did last night. I'm not going to say it tonight. I'm scared to. Oh, Diane. Oof. Between children 2 and 3, then when she had Danny, her husband Steve was not the father. You are not the father. Yes, because he had a vasectomy. Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that coming up. We've got so much. We could probably cover this forever. We probably could cover this forever. Crank acres. Black Hawk. Hi, Joy. Way to make an entrance, sister. Throw your voodoo dolls at Joy. She just made me nervous. Girl. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, so we were at 2 hours in on her bars on the windows, and we did get to see her for the 14 or 15 minutes tell her beautiful story. The face that she has on the screen right now is the same face that she had through that interview. We all noticed that she was talking down to the parole board. She really didn't give a crap what they said. Her brand new attitude is the same attitude she had in 1983. There's nothing brand new about her. Nothing. Nothing redeeming, nothing helpful. Okay, putting the phone down. Nope. Nope. You got the voodoo dolls now. Hey, how are you? We didn't lose our minds. We've lost our marbles. But our minds are still there. Just empty on the inside. Okay. All right. Let's get started and see what kind of madness ensues with the last 2 hours. We will get through the last 2 hours of this tonight on our Saturday. And if I can get allegedly to hang out with me a little bit tomorrow daytime, I might have a daytime live if she's not going to go live on Sunday. I haven't talked to her. And if she is, then I will come live on Sunday night. And we'll just have a fun day off from Diane Downs. Nothing's changed for her but the date. Yeah, agreed. You hear at least a couple marbles rattling around in there. You hear them. You hear them. That'll be fun. We can talk about all the things. Everything's on fire except for the education reform sector of YouTube. Well, I don't know. You was kind of lighting the fires today, girl. You was kind of lighting those fires. Am I going to have to start reviewing you? And lighting them fires. Get your notepads. You got your cookies, your crackers, your caulk and mortar. All right, we're just going to pick up where we left off. So we were at 2 hours, 2:12. 12, I believe.
In light of it, prison is a horrible, horrible, horrible place. And it's just awful. No one wants, no, that's not true. There are people who like being in prison. I didn't like being in prison.
Okay. And then you talked about the 1989 attempted escape with, and I'm going to be honest that there was a couple of things about it that were a little confusing to me. So you said that John Stevens and John Budke are the same person?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
John,
Yes, they are.
Okay. So you first met John Stevens when?
He came after I returned from my escape. He came to the visiting room to see me in September of 1987. So I saw his face. I know his face.
Okay.
I know who he is. Yes.
Okay.
And when Robert Seaver, when I was in New Jersey, Robert Seaver sent me pictures of his 4 friends and his 4 buddies that he hangs out with, and one of them was John Stevens, but he called him John Budke.
Oh, okay. So
This bitch is already getting on my nerves. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Not horrible, horrible, but horrible, horrible, horrible. Yeah. Last night we said it was a horrible, horrible, horrible thing you did by shooting your kids and killing one and permanently traumatizing the other 2. She didn't like being there, so she left. According to her, she just left. Obviously, truth leaked out, so she's capable of it if it serves her. Yeah. Hashtag leakage. That's what me and Teresa have been talking about. Leakage, leakage all over the place. And I hate to use somebody else's line, but that's really all I can think of when I think of what she's doing. She's definitely just leaking out of her pie hole. Returned, not retired. What sort of trading that the parole board has? Trading or training? You saying training? I also draw floor plans to relax. Have done so since I was a child. You also have the route to all of the prison ins and outs and what time everybody is in and off of work. Listen to Alexa. She's yelling at me again. Alexa, stop.
It's 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Alexa, stop. Shut it. Do y'all have one of these? This girl don't listen to nobody. She don't listen to nobody. Yet she never gave a description to a sketch artist that I know of. Yeah, I can't find any credible record that says John Stevens and John Bucky are the same person in the Downs case. The man who sheltered Diane after her escape wasn't it was it Wayne Seifer? Yeah. What the heck? I'm so confused. These people are confusing. She gives too many names, so we never can figure out the who's, right? So we have to just kind of keep fishing around for answers. Oh, what kind of training? Okay, that's what I thought. No, ma'am. No. Mm-mm. Nope.
That is not correct. Because according to the encyclopedia...
No, ma'am. You have government wiretaps, aka Alexa. Don't tell everybody. Yeah, get in the corner. What a dumbass. No. No. Okay, let's keep going.
The escape attempt in 1989, again, this was a group of people setting you up because you refused to sign a media release. Is that what I'm to understand?
I don't think they were intending to set me up. That's what happened, but I don't think they intended to. Robert Sieber wrote to me.
Now I have to correct. Wait a minute, guys. Now I have to correct something. Hold the damn phone. Hold the damn phone. Lisa, help and Encyclo Ramada. Where are you? I think we need to flag something. I think there was an error stated last night. We said that John and Cindy Stevens were the people that were in connection with the escape that harbored her in 1987. Isn't that what we talked about forever? Yeah, we did. So was it John or was it Wayne Seifer? Look that up, Rubber. Tell me what you find. Yes, what? There's two different questions there, sweet pea. You think Diane had DID? She can't keep her inner voices from telling on herself with insanity. Yeah, the possibility. I'm not going to diagnose her because she apparently doesn't need our help. All she needs is a therapist who believes in her complete innocence. All right, well, Rubber's. Okay, thank you, Encyclo Ramada.
Claim was made in May, and I went to ADSEG in May, and Robert Sieber returned to New Jersey in May. To Oregon from New Jersey in May. In September, he wrote to me several letters and said, "I'm so sorry for what I did. John said that we were going to split the money. He sold the story for $25,000 about how we were going to escape, and he was supposed to split the money with me, but then he lied to me and he kept the money, and I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I did that to you."
Shut up for a second, Diane. Shut up. Hold on. Now I'm getting a whole new freaking names because seriously, last night we ran John Stevens through the mud, John and Cindy. We sure did. Back and forth with their nose in the floor. Well, I know, I get them all mixed up too, but people will come for you when you screw the facts up, especially in a 40-year-old case. I got to figure this out. So basically, what I'm seeing is the escape July 11, 1987. She scaled the fence and jumped on the other side to Wayne? I know, Lisa. So Wayne picked her up and drove her the 150 miles to Salem? It says She stayed at Wayne's, and we talked about the wigs and the haircuts, and when they tracked her down, and we what in the and Babs Seifer is the wife. This is giving me two different names of two different. You know what? Let me look at something official and tell me what you see. Wayne Seifer. After her escape, let's look it up. I can't play too much of 2020 because they'll beat us up for it. Maybe we can hear the audio without. It won't get us in trouble. Hold on. Hold peace. Yeah. The heck? Why didn't? What the? What information was I looking at last night that I thought I knew everything? Yeah. Jingleheimer Schmidt. Where's Kara? She's probably hanging out. She's either bowling or hanging out with her family tonight. I'm not sure what she's doing. Look, Diane, you're a whole ass mess. See what you do? You talk in circles and you confuse all of us. Well, all of me anyway, because now I don't even know what I'm talking about. And now I have to have the chat tell me who the hell stayed where and when. All right, let's see if I can pull this up here without getting us in trouble. Media assets. Let's do a cover over here. You'll have to let me know if you can hear this when I pull it up. All right, I'm going to play it. Let me know if you can hear it. Regina Phalanges. Two other men identified as Robert Stevens and Eric Henderson in some reports. These men are also lived in the house with Wayne Seifer and were present while Downs was hiding. They were also charged. It's just a baby. I was opening my first restaurant during Diane's drama. Wow, Twisted. Princess Consuelo Banana Hammock. And Skibbity Fupa Flap. Yeah, we got that part. I mean, she did play house with her inmate friend's husband. Oh Lord. Okay. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
She said, could I stay? And I said, why not? And
That's Wayne Seifer talking. Hopefully you can hear it.
she said, could I stay? And I said, why not? And a couple hours later, she came up and introduced herself, not as Diane Downs, but just as a girl with no clothes on. So that was a good enough introductory for me.
Did y'all hear that? So she introduced herself as a girl with no clothes on. And that was a good enough introductory for him. Wow.
When she was in prison, she was talking to her roommate about her roommate's husband. They wrote out on a sheet of paper where he lived, what his address was, and they made a map.
Right, Teresa?
Diane takes that piece of paper and runs with it.
She found a warm bed, the husband of a fellow inmate, but she probably wasn't expecting her to get so cozy with her husband.
Those days in Colombia.
Wow, I was a nervous wreck. And my only job was to keep her there, keep her from going out and harming anybody. I should have turned her in, but I didn't.
Wow. Wow. Diane Downs, you really pissed me off on the confusing BS. Yes, of course you can. Because she was naked and had a slight affinity for married men. I guess she had a feral kitty. That's why he didn't turn her in, because hers was Nike. I was going to say she probably didn't give a shit whether they were married or not. She just kind of liked whatever.
I'll have that letter.
Okay, so there's two plans. The first plan was they wanted you to sign a media release. And you were talking with Mr. Bailey, and you said they told you if you refused to sign the media release, you would be in more trouble. You refused, and that's when they went to the warden and laid out this plan.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That's my understanding. That's according to the police reports. Yes.
So I'm going to go back and listen to this, what we did last night, and listen to see if she is the one who intentionally confused us or if it was me who unintentionally confused myself. Yeah, that's what we just listened to. Just that little bitty part. Definitely don't want to get us. Yeah, let me pull that up and just make sure that's what I just listened to. Yeah. Her FUPA must be great at extracurricular activities to get all these men. Ew. Ew, Hannah. Man who hid Diane Downs after her escape from prison says I should have turned her in, but I didn't. Yeah, because she was naked. Right. Share this tab instead. This is what we just watched.
And her 3 children were shot by a strange man.
I'm not going to watch all of that because it'll get me struck. Where's the stuff where he was talking? We're going to watch most of this stuff, but I want to hear from... Guess he's not in that one. Wayne Seifer and his wife, an inmate at Oregon Women's Correctional Center, were separated and not on speaking terms. But he says that didn't stop her from sending a fellow inmate to his home one Saturday morning unannounced and on the run from state and local police. Now, so according to this article, she jumped down to freedom on the other side, and her honey bunny was not waiting on his bicycle to take her to paradise. So she had a piece of paper and she just showed up naked at his front door. Thank you. It was probably like throwing a wiener down the hallway with how much traffic she had. Oh my gosh. Listen to some of the recorded calls with her and Knickerbocker. Well, you're cheating, Joy. You're going ahead and you're cheating. Did you enjoy it? Was it worth it? Is it good? We're gonna get into it. It's just taking forever because I'm a squirrel. Right, let's go back over here. Thank you, Encycler Ramada, for that. I really appreciate that clarification. Now, I'll have to go back on my video and just make sure that I fix that clarification so I don't get beaten up by the masses.
They did try, in your testimony is that they tried to blackmail you into doing a media release, and when you didn't, they did this.
Yeah.
And that you had no intention of escaping?
No.
Okay.
No, we were going to court. I had a post-conviction hearing. This was in May, and my post-conviction hearing was scheduled. It was on the calendar for September of 89.
Okay.
I filed for post-conviction relief in 87. Steve Gorham was appointed to represent me in 87. He had gathered evidence about all the evidence that he'd gathered and put together his Fifth Amendment petition. And we were going to court. I was going to be brought back from New Jersey to Oregon for the post-conviction hearing in September of 1989.
So I found what had originally happened. So it looks like when we talked about John Stevens, it looked like it came from a secondary source that had circulated the wrong name, in the early 2000s. It was a blog. It was a summary or a derivative write-up of some sort. So once we go back through the primary contemporaneous records like the Associated Press, Statesman, Oregon DOC, they verify the name that appears in the official 1987 escape and harboring charge, who is Wayne Seifer, not John Stevens, and not John Budke. So there's that. Misidentified names that trace back to unverified or misremembered retellings. Much like Diane, I pulled a Diane Downs and just told another story. Just told a story. There we go.
Okay. So for me to, and that's what I told Seaver. I said, I'm going home. I'm going back to Oregon in September. Why would I sign a media release after my name is cleared? Then and why would I?
Nope, ma'am. We've already talked about this. You do not give anybody permission to do any of that. They don't need a media release from you. They don't need a media release from you. They made books in your name. They made movies in your name. They do not need permission from an inmate to tell their story. Bye-bye.
I marry you. After my name is cleared, I have a life to go home to. It doesn't involve being married to you. And it certainly doesn't involve doing a movie. I don't want a movie. I don't care about a movie. Nobody's ever gonna, I'm not interested.
Okay.
And
so, you know, it says in the documents we received that Mr. Seaver turned over numerous items, including tapes, letters, and transcripts.
Right.
Between the two of you. Are those, what do you say about that evidence?
I sent him trial transcripts. He says, because he kept saying, his mom didn't believe, his mom was mad at him for dating me through the mail. And so I said, well, here. So I sent him trial transcripts to show her. That was the trial transcripts.
I do have to always remind myself that this is in the 80s and 90s. We dated through the mail, which is probably our equivalent of phone and email, I would guess, because I had computers since I was in kindergarten, but I never dated through the mail. So it's odd to me. Of course, she would never want that attention. Right. Dating through the mail. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. Oh my Jesus Christ in the sky. Y'all are in a Saturday down spiral. Window was not invented yet. Well, I don't know. She was doing something with the windows because she was over there in the caulk and mortar. She was doing something. Snail mail, snail trails. Who cares, Diane? Pen pals, baby. Actual letters were awesome. Mail order girlfriend. Why would that lady have set her up with her ex? That's how you get. Oh, that's how she got caulk. Yep. That was probably her inspiration.
I don't know how that could be used against me. I did a tape recording for him. There was nothing in there about escaping. What kind of a... You guys have been told that I'm intelligent. What kind of dumbass?
Cause I'm a potato.
You have been told that she is intelligent.
Gaslighter, denier, doing anything to get your ass farther.
Would have to tape record escape plans and send it out of the prison. And if I was, it would be ludicrous. And there is nothing on the tape recordings, one tape recording, there's nothing on there about escape plans. It sounds ominous because he turned over tape recordings and all this, but there's nothing on there about escaping. Nothing. And I don't know what kind of a shopping list it is. I don't even know what the shopping list would be. I do know that he told that during the disciplinary report hearing, they said, you were planning to escape to Canada. Of all the places I would not go, it's Canada. I hate the cold. I was raised in Arizona. I hate the cold. I would not go to Canada.
Are you saying that Arizona never gets cold? Nightbot reminded me, if you don't mind, would you please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't? You're not being disrespectful, girl. Ain't nothing disrespectful that come out of your mouth. We do need to clip it. Y'all have been told that I'm intelligent, right? Exactly. I never call you by your name. I guess I should ask you if that's okay. You want me to call you by your name? I don't mind doxing you every day. If you want to be. It's me.
But that was part of his fantasy. That was part of his storyline.
Okay. And then you then said that these two men then used your disciplinary action to sell a story and earn $25,000?
That's what Robert Sieber wrote in a letter to me. I don't know that he did.
No, Lisa, don't take me wrong. I know she did. I'm picking on allegedly. We talk about it once in a while. I just told her I've never called her that on stream, and because it makes me feel a little weird because she didn't put it out on her own. It was put out on her, and so I was kind of just going down that line. No, you're fine. She knows y'all know her name. She knows y'all know her name. Thoughts she was. No, you're okay. You're right. That she was going to call them dumbasses. She probably should. No, she's fine with it. She would have let y'all know a long time ago. I pick on her that it makes me feel weird but I don't mind. I'll dox her every day. You want to be doxed? I'll dox you every day, girl. That's true. Jessica Rabbit. I call you what I want. Jessica Rabbit.
Or didn't, but that's what Robert Sieber wrote to me. He said, I am so sorry. Please take me back. I was wrong. John lied to me. He said we were going to make $10,000, but he sold it for $25,000, and he's supposed to give me half, and he didn't. That's a letter he wrote to me. Again, I'm only telling you what he wrote to me. I don't know that it's true.
Okay.
I can only tell you from my end what I received.
Okay. And then you overheard the district attorney tell prison officials that you shouldn't be charged.
Yep.
And then prison officials proceeded against you anyway, against the advice of a district attorney?
Sure, Jan,
Yes,
sure.
that was Charlotte Blackwell. Yes. I saw them both at the end of the hall, And I heard his voice, and that's why I looked at the end of the hall, and I saw him, the DA, or the man on the phone. I saw the man on the phone with the warden, Charlotte Blackwell. And they were talking, and he said, there is no evidence and no reason to believe this woman is planning to escape. There's no way I can bring charges against her.
Ma'am, one moment, please, ma'am. Diane Downs filed a civil rights complaint against Charlotte Blackwell. She's a not a CEO, but a CA. She was a correctional administrator for improper placement in ADSEG. Oh my gosh. The court dismissed the complaint because she didn't have a claim, failure to state a claim, meaning that they found the pleadings insufficient and unsupported with any facts whatsoever. Keep that lady's name out your mouth. Charlotte ain't done nothing to you.
That's wacky nonsense.
So there seems to be kind of a theme that you are a person who people conspire against. Is that kind of what you're? Because you're saying there was a.
Oh, this is why we never get through anything. I need a throat punch. No, we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to literally throat punch people. We'll end up where Diane is. She needs to stop with her inappropriate laughter. As she's got older, her voice has done nothing but got more annoying.
A conspiracy
Yes.
and people made you lie,
Yes.
and others lie in your trial, and now we have this attempt escape, and these prison officials are lying, and everybody's lying in that as well. And
Yes, ma'am, that's it.
Then when you're talking about the other,
I know that's right.
This
That is correct.
That is correct, ma'am. You got that right. I am Eeyore. You know.
seems to be a theme. Why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well, you kind of turned a light bulb on for me.
Oh, son of a... What did allegedly tell me earlier? Son of a nutter butter. Son of a nutter butter.
Okay, I'm confused.
She turned a light bulb on for you. She's just repeating back to you exactly what you've said this entire parole hearing. I didn't do it. Nobody saw me do it. You can't prove anything, Bart Simpson shit.
Nope.
Yes. According to the dangerous offender, I have to be mentally ill for you to keep me here. I sure look crazy, don't I? And yet every single thing that I've told you is true, and I have documents to prove it, but they don't give you those documents. All they give you is their version of it, which is, she made this all up.
You don't, again, we said this yesterday, you don't know what the hell the parole board has in front of them, lady. All you see, and I know I have all of the chats over there clickety clacking, but really, I mean, you can hear them typing. They have enough evidence over there to bury you. They're just trying to give you an opportunity again in 2025 to bury yourself. 42 years, ma'am, you've learned nothing. You will never get out. You will never have the redeeming qualities of a sane person who needs to be out on the street where I walk and buy my groceries. Stay where you are.
Since you're not going to hand down your decision today, I'm definitely going to send you the documents, because you need to know I am telling you the truth and I did not make this up. You need to know that I had a light blue denim romper, which could never have been turned into a navy blue polyester officer's uniform. You need to know that. I don't know why people say the things they do. I did not know why people said those things, but now I understand that if they can do these things and I try to explain them, it makes me look wacky, and I'm not.
You don't say. Know that. What she did to her babies is deplorable in every way, but she never talks about them in the parole hearing. She doesn't talk about her crime in the sense that she's done anything wrong. She only talks about it being a crime that she put her children in a place where somebody else could harm them. She never takes responsibility. She will never take responsibility. She's not capable of taking responsibility. Yeah, know that. Hannah, I'm not highlighting that. Ma'am, no. You know that could give you an infection. Stop doing that. Are you recording those videos yourself or are you watching somebody else? Is that what you're saying?
I am telling you the God's honest truth, and I have documents to prove it, which they don't give you. and but it's still, you don't have those documents. You still think, oh, she just makes this all up. But I didn't. They made it up. There you go.
Well, I guess let's talk about the last attempted escape in 1991. You've referenced the light blue. You called it did you call it a romper? What did you?
A romper. It's sleeveless and it has short legs. It had a zipper up the front.
Okay.
It's a sunsuit. It's a sunsuit. A romper. It's a sunsuit.
Okay. Well, you also had other items, though. You had fabric, you had buttons, you had, according to them, fashioned a pouch or purse out of these objects. So it wasn't just a light blue romper, right? There were other items that were found at the time of this incident.
All things that I'd had since I got there that were legal and that.
See, now I'm really getting the Sarah Boone vibes. Really, really getting the Sarah Boone vibes here. She had the sunsuit, aka legless, sleeveless romper, fabric, buttons that she fashioned into a purse out of objects that were, in her opinion, legal. Hey, Mustang, welcome in. Wait, I have documents to prove it, but they don't give you the documents, but I have them. Yeah, exactly. According to her, they have 0 documents and are not allowed to have them. She has all the documents. It's like showing receipts that don't add up and claiming, look, I showed proof. Who does those things, Hannah? I've never known anybody to do things like that. Nobody does that. Yeah, fucking wild. Sunsuit, buttons, and purse. She thought she was going to the damn beach. She was going to meet her honey bun on his bicycle, and he was going to take her to the beach in her romper.
Even with buttons, and the black fabric was like a square like this. It wasn't like sheets and sheets of fabric. It was a little square. It was a rag, a black rag.
Oh, well, it says that it's 3 yards.
No. Where was I going to get 3 yards of fabric? You know what we made I worked in the fabric, in the sewing factory. Mm-hmm. We made white boxer shorts for the men's prisons. I didn't have 3 yards of fabric. And if I had 3 yards of fabric, it had to have come through the mailroom, and they would have stopped it. I did not have it.
Okay. And then finally, I guess I'm just wondering why we're going back to the 1985 drug distribution DR. Why would this individual pick you out to throw under the bus? Because you deny any of this. You deny.
We know why. We know why. Y'all told me this yesterday. Why is it that everybody in the world would be against Diane Downs? Where'd you send it to? I don't see it. Cindy? Oh, did you send it to Discord? Because she's a mega star. She's a mega star. Her thigh-high blue denim sleeveless romper. Because she ate all the caulk. That's why. She's a mega star. Cheese? Yeah, she's gonna start. She's probably modern day staple user. She's been hiding all the staples. She said sunsuit. Might mean strapless, not sleeveless. Okay, well, Lisa, dang, don't ruin my fun. Sleeveless, strapless, legless, velvety, blue romper with 2 nightsticks on each side. She's perfect. That's why.
That you were involved. You deny writing that letter.
Yeah.
So why would he, of all the people he could pick, why would he decide to choose you and, as you put it, throw you under the bus? I don't understand that.
When someone, he is a lifelong criminal. He had been in California juvenile facility since the age of 14.
All right, Diane, tell us about the lifelong criminals. You smart thing, you. Look what Cindy made me do. She showed up naked, so it fell apart. Exactly. That really, I'm gonna guess that this is probably what she's describing in some sort of way. Look at that. That's not sleeveless or strapless, but this is. That's terrible. I wouldn't want to wear that. Who else tries to forget we had to wear these for gym class? Yeah. Joy. Well, we know to get Joy for Christmas. She drank tequila to Hannah. Stop. She probably ripped it on the barbed wire as she was coming down. Yep, I agree with you on that one. That's probably what happened. We did. It was awful. That's your high school gym suit. Oh, lorsh. Lorsh, lorsh. I'm sorry. Well, if you have any left over, Joy will take one. The famous romper. It's a memory thing. Oh, y'all make me nervous. Y'all make me nervous. You got good memories.
By this time, he was 36. So he had been in and out of prison. He had only had 2 years outside of prison since the age of 14.
Okay.
So he thinks like a prisoner. He doesn't think like you. He doesn't think like normal people.
Oh my God! Stop, Diane. You are so freaking condescending. You. Listen, it is not normal for a long time offender to go into the parole board, into a parole hearing, and speak to the administrators like this. I hope y'all know this is not normal. Not normal.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Rubber. Rubber.
Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room.
A rubber room. No, nothing about her is normal. Nothing. She's annoying me.
So when he is going to be in trouble because he gets busted with drugs, in order to get himself out of what career criminals do in prison is throw somebody else hotter at people to distract attention. It's like killdeers, the little birds that nest in the rocks. When a fox is coming along, they run away from their nest and they pretend they have a broken wing so the fox will chase them and leave the nest alone. That's what he was doing. He was saying, oh, I've got something from Diane Downs.
She's a metaphorical freaking genius. We were wrong all along. She's a metaphorical freaking genius.
And she's trying to convince me to transport drugs into the prison through I don't know how, because I wasn't going to the prison at that time.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine how you and your little legless romper and sleeveless thing, how you might get that into the prison, Diane? I mean, my God, wasn't it you who was going to send a helicopter to pick you up off of the rec yard? You can't imagine how you'd have got that in there. I give you a hint.
Wish you had a copy of the letter. It didn't even say anything. It's simply what the letter said was something to the effect of, I have a friend that wants some H. I didn't even know what H was at the time. Apparently that's heroin. I have a friend who wants some H. And is there a way that you can get it to me through the school system? The school system? Okay, that's what the letter said, because they gave me a copy of it. I was not yet going to college. It was after that, it was about 4 months after that, the warden of that prison of Oregon State Penitentiary granted me permission to enter his prison in the school system, in the college program. If the warden believed that Frank Sousa was actually telling the truth and that I wrote that letter, he was never going to let me go to his prison, especially not to sit in a classroom with Frank Sousa. It just wasn't going to happen. So even they knew Frank's history of throwing other people at the COs to distract them. Frank had this letter, and he claimed to have had this letter for 2 months or something, and yet
So she's throwing another name into the mix. Frank Sousa, Souza, another correctional officer who worked at Oregon Women's Correctional Center during her time there. So she accuses him of participating in or knowing about her 1991 conspiracy to escape and setting her up or planting evidence, which is her wording, quote unquote, planting evidence, when that investigation found a facility diagram and coded letters in her property, which are to this date allegations only because there's no independent record or disciplinary finding against Frank. In fact, when she filed her civil rights action suit in the federal courts against Charlotte Blackwell and Frank, they appear as defendants in her suits, and both of them were dismissed because she failed to show any constitutional violation or evidence to her freaking claims. So the psychological part of Diane Downs is now she's invoking another name that fits the pattern that we've seen and mapped across the whole freaking series. When confronted with any evidence of any rule breaking, Diane Downs automatically has to redirect the blame to someone else. It's someone else's fault. She has to name specific officers, specific conspirators, because she's trying to preserve her internal narrative of innocence and her persecution. She's feeding the cycle to herself in front of the parole board. Does she even know where she's sitting? During her 1991 disciplinary hearing, she started claiming that Frank planted evidence against her and then sued him unsuccessfully. That's in 1991, and we're still talking about this in 2025. The courts threw it out for lack of proof. When you're caught with evidence instinctively, instead of having remorse, you rewrite the entire movie in your head and assign guilt to anybody but yourself. You're a pathetic waste of human excrement. All of these horrific things happen to her because nobody likes her. They want her to go eat some worms. I stuff a worm in her mouth. The husband woke up. Huh? She just go get her a caulking gun and we can caulk her mouth shut. You think she's a mixture of Sarah Boone and Lori Daybell? Joy, are you okay? You love fried chicken? I must have missed something. Y'all are so random. Oh, Lord Orange. Allegedly speculating.
That is not correct. Because according to the encyclopedia of...
No, ma'am. Whitney! You had a hockey game? Did you win? Allegedly speculating is feeding worms to Diane Downs. I missed it. I'll have to go back and see. But fried chicken sounds great. My cousin and I used to call weed fried chicken. Oh, got it. Now, oh, gotcha. I'm kidding, Mustang. Hi, Whitney. Welcome in. Nice to see you. We're not caulking the worms. We have to caulk her mouth shut with the worms inside. You got to no, you got shut out. That's okay. You got a peppermint frap from Starbucks. Oh, yum. That's better than fried chicken. Still would make me fat though. All right, let's continue to be talked down to.
He never turned it in until he's getting busted. The whole story was bogus, and the staff knew it was bogus. But my staff found me guilty. I got charged with the disciplinary report, and I got found guilty.
Mother Chicken, do you own the staff? She thinks I swear to God, she does. She thinks she lives in the mansion of Diane Downsville. She might really think that that was her building. She might have really just been drawing building plans up in her building because that bitch owns that building. She was even running the maintenance people around and telling them when to caulk the windows and when to put the mortar back up. Please, can you fix my room over here? I don't know why you write me a disciplinary report. I own the place. Her staff. We have a staff over here. We have a staff. The Guardian carries one. And we own this building, Diane. Mm-mm. Okay, I'm up. Sorry, babe. Sorry. The staff and her floor plans and her dreams. I'm telling you, she is the lost Lindenberg baby. Who'd have thought? She is so interested in her own stories, and she needs you to believe them. You have to believe them, Lisa. You have to. She got a staff. Her staff. She can't have him's widow staff. Good morning, Mr. Hio. She takes staff up the honey girl. Y'all. No, we spelled staff wrong. That's what it was. We spelled staff wrong. We're going to hell, everybody.
So, okay, so when you say the whole staff knew it was bogus, you mean the staff in the men's prison, but
Yes.
your staff did not find it to be bogus, correct?
I would assume that they did not find it to be bogus because they charged me. They wrote a disciplinary report and they charged me and found me guilty.
Correct. And you received 3 months in segregation, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And then that was in May, I think, June, July, August, and then in September I started school.
And did you know Frank Sousa?
We were pen pals. When I got to the prison, he wrote to me, "Oh, so you are the infamous Diane Downs."
Wait a minute. What? I'm dead right now. I'm dead right now. In the mid 1990s, Diane started writing in personal correspondence and legal filings that she had a pen pal friendship with Officer Frank. She said that they exchanged letters through internal mail and later through outside addresses, and that their friendship drew attention from other staff. She did. She did say that shit. She says that their contact angered other prison supervisors like Charlotte Blackwell. After the friendship was soured, she was framed. Framed? I've been framed! For the conspiracy to escape incident. And that's when they found the facility diagram, the coded notes, which according to her were planted to destroy her credibility. But she said they were planted, but now she says that she draws diagrams for fun since she was a child. This is literally in her civil rights filing in Downs versus Blackwell in 1992 in the courts. They can't find any confirmation of this. Exactly, he'd be fired. Get over yourself, you twit. So her claim exists, but it's a one-sided allegation, much like everything that has to do with Diane Downs. There's no official confirmation on anything. They did never even find the letters. So here's another psychological pattern with Diane Downs, right? She loves to blur the boundaries. Everybody wants her. She's infamous. You're the infamous Diane Downs. She wants to develop as many personal relationships in her mind with authority figures so she can be on their level. And then she can leverage that relationship to validate herself or get an advantage with the parole board, right? And then when it collapses in front of her, she just recasts herself as the persecuted one again. Well, they obviously didn't believe me because then I had to do 3 months in ADSEG. But I don't know. I don't know why. She has no boundaries. She likes to blur every boundary that ever existed, and there are no boundaries in her mind, absolutely. In later years, Diane did say that she had a correction officer named Frank that were pen pals. I cannot believe that. Friendly letters so that he could set her up. Signature pattern, turning every boundary that she has into a betrayal story. Everything that we have seen from start to finish has been, well, she set herself up for success, but for some reason, everybody around her wants her to fail. She is a victim in her own story. But it's normal for her. I mean, it's normal. It's her. Let me see what you guys said. Can't believe she said romper. This woman doesn't know anything. I'm pretty sure she doesn't know that segregation has ended. CPR stat. Yeah, I was dead. Yeah, she is a legend in her own mind. She can't keep her lies straight. Yeah, no boundaries. You'd stink at being a juror. I think I would too. I think I would be so freaking judgy. I'm like I'd be judge, jury, and executioner before I ever even got through the facts. I know myself well enough to go, no, sir, I'm a complete bitch. I'm sorry. No, don't put me up there. No, she did it. I know she can do it. Look at her eyes. The only thing she's doing is spreading staph infections and snitching. Yeah. Yep. Snitches are bitches. Blurred lines. I know you want it. Hi, Andy.
That's right. I did not know he was the infamous Frank Sousa.
So the two of you were exchanging letters this whole time?
Yes.
How long
And
did
back
that go
then,
on for?
I arrived in the prison August 30th of 1984. He started writing to me in September of 84. And so this was 85. So we had been writing for maybe 6 months, I guess. We had been writing for about 6 months. And you weren't part of the system back then, so you don't know. We had...
You condescending monkey nut. I swear. What in the hell is wrong with you? You weren't part of the system back then, ma'am. You were just a twinkle in your daddy's eye, so you don't know. Bitch, please. Just so everybody knows, I'm just going to put this up real quick. Trigger warning, because this is who I am. Content falls under fair use disclaimer for purpose of entertainment, criticism, commentary, and research purposes. My opinions are just that, mine and mine alone. Nobody is responsible for my foul mouth except for myself. The people in chat are responsible for theirs. Leave that there. You know? She wouldn't know the truth if it tweaked naked in front of her with a sign saying, I'm the truth. She says tweaked. I read it right. Oh, the monkey nuts. Now we're going to have to get in a monkey nut emoji. She will never get out is the good thing because she will never change. I agree with you, Mustang. You are 100% correct.
That is correct.
I didn't have to write through the mail system. We had a mail system that, have you ever been to OSP and OWCC? Do you know the layout?
I have been to both, yes.
Okay, good. So the women could actually marry the men and go over there for visiting. On visit every Friday they could go to visiting day, so they could actually marry. There was that much of a connection of an
You dirty hooer. That's what you wanted. That's why you wanted Frank. That's why you wanted Frank. You dirty hooer. I'm serious. She wanted to go over there and have a conjugal visit with Mr. Frank. You thought he was good looking.
interlocking system between those two prisons. The male system was similar in that if the females wanted to write to the men and the men vice versa, I would write a letter, I'd put it in a yellow envelope, don't seal it, give it to the officer. It was not stamped with postage, it was interagency. The officers would review the letter and they would walk it over. Every day they would walk it to OSP and then it would be distributed. Anything that I would have written to Frank Sousa would have been in a yellow interagency envelope, not sealed, and the staff review all these letters. And there were only 130 women at the prison at the time, so it wasn't onerous, and not very many of them wrote to the men's prison. So it wasn't difficult for them to review every single letter. And I'm assuming they would have read all of my letters. Even if they didn't, I would assume that they were going to read all of my letters. Now, the only way that I could have gotten a letter to Frank before I started college was through one of these interagency envelopes, which was reviewed. No officer grabbed that and
I want to play it, but I don't own it. I want to play it, but I don't own it. You're fascinated that she can't get an objective view of herself. Do I have your wallet? Does it have any money in it?
Got all the money in the world.
There you go. Don't time yourself out. I'm enjoying your company. I really do. I want to. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll go find it. I want to play it. It might embarrass some of y'all. You might have secondhand embarrassment listening to that.
said, oh my God, she's trying to get H into the prison. No officer did that because I never wrote a letter to Frank saying anything of that sort. I don't know how Frank got a letter. I don't know if he wrote it. I don't know if he had someone. I don't know because I wasn't there. I can only speculate. But I never wrote a letter of any sort. There you go.
So were you and Frank in a romantic relationship? Was this a romantic?
She ain't gonna tell you the truth. I don't even know why you asked her. She's not gonna tell you the truth. She's not gonna tell you that they were in a romantic relationship. Trigger warning. Y'all might be a little embarrassed, secondhand embarrassed listening to this. I have to pause because I myself am getting red cheek just thinking about the fact that he's about to tell us what he's gonna do.
You gonna take it? You gonna take that dick? You gonna take that dick, huh? I'm gonna pop off a piece of my dick. Oh yeah, I'm fixing to fuck you.
That's as far as I can get to no more. Yeah, she's confused. Oh Lord. This poor guy. Poor Frank. Oh Lord. Okay, I can only. Okay, I cannot. Jeez. Okay. Yes. Cindy. Cringe. I agree. I agree. Oh. All right. Sorry. Back to Diane. It's not really a palate cleanser, is it?
Fuck this place.
Exchange between the two of you?
Oh, I'm sure he thought it was. Yeah, I'm sure he thought it was. I mean,
what did you think?
How do you know what he thought it was, girl? How do you know what he thought it was? Especially since it doesn't exist. Now you're making up some reason to think that you, the infamous Diane Downs, you're so freaking sexy that that dude just wanted you. He wanted you so badly.
Part of this.
I just thought he was a pen pal, and I wanted to go to the men's college to go to school, and that if I was going to go to a men's penitentiary, that I didn't know what it was like. I wanted to know from him, what is it like at the men's prison? What are the men like? What is the college program like? Am I going to be safe? Am I going to be harassed? Because I wasn't liked in the women's prison, so I was harassed enough there. Was I going to be harassed? Those were the questions that I wanted to know from him. And so that's why I agreed to the pen pal with him, because I wanted to know. I was told right from the get-go that I qualified for college because I had already begun my
Hannah missed it. We'll play it a little bit. Ace, you're about to leave to go to work in the morning early, Eastern Standard Time. What is she talking about? Well, ma'am, she is talking about this lovely pen pal relationship that she had with another honey bun. She had another honey bun, a different honey bun, a Frank. She had a Frank and staff. She has staff now in her castle. I'm and now she has a magic kitty. According to Teresa, she has a magic kitty. You need to wash your eyes and ears with salt water now. Are you going to get some D? Like vitamin D? Do you need the staff here to send you some vitamins? Yeah. Mustang keeps grounding us. You killed your kids, you won't be liked anywhere. Ace, good night. Please sleep sweet, and we will next time we've got a few more days on this series. We will get your art up here. Like I said, let me know if you get your Redbubble set up, and we will get your link out here on the interwebs for you. So. Did she think she would transfer her? Did she think they would transfer her to the mid? No, no. What she thought was she was going to get some because she's promiscuous, and she thought the easiest way to do that would find a staffy. Frank is a unicorn. Yep. She wanted a Frank in her bun. It's 10 p.m. It's 9 o'clock here. Ooh wee! You have to get up at 5. Well, don't let us keep you, Ace. You be safe out there working tomorrow. Getting transferred to a men's prison would be her dream come true. Yeah. Yep. My mom and I were talking about this on the phone right now. I told her about the parole hearing. Oh, girl. Yeah, we just don't invite the moms. Don't invite the moms. We just, well, just let her know. Prepare her for, our mouth and stuff, because you know how it goes over here. Those dang honey buns, she got type 1. She's going to get something. She's going to get something. Hold on a minute, Ace. Give me just a second. So the first email that you sent me had drawings in it, and the second one I can't. I'm trying to get it to pull up. All right, let's listen to her for a few minutes while I do that.
College on the street. And so I was just waiting for my turn. There were only 10 slots for women. So I was waiting for my turn to get a Pell Grant. And so during that time, I wanted to know, am I going to be safe?
Okay, I don't have any other questions.
Ms. Brooks?
I do have some questions about the individual who you said you learned was responsible, James Claire Haynes, but I think that kind of gets into crimes, so I'll save my questions on that subject, and I don't have any questions regarding disciplinary.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Reese?
No question.
And Ms. Kuklinski?
No additional questions, thank you.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Downs, we're going to turn to both the psychological evaluations that are in your file as well as your criminal history.
Okay, so get ready for the fun part, okay? So we're done with all of the disciplinary reports, and we're done with all of her escape attempts and all of the dumb shit that she did while she was going through the beginning stages of her incarceration. So now we're going to move over to her psychological mumbo jumbo and the evaluations that comes with. Now, we do have to keep in mind, obviously, the parole board is not going to let us know all of the information that's in those psychological reports. I would almost give a pinky toe to see them, though. I really would. Oh, my. Did you see what I just did? Where were we at?
Would assume that they did not find.
I hit the button. I should have wrote that down.
About how the stalker fits in.
April 1st.
Oh, my goodness. Where were we?
But
Yes.
your staff did not find it. Was this a romantic exchange?
To me, that.
I don't have any other questions.
There we go.
Ms. Brooks?
Goodness gracious, let me write
I
that down.
do have some
231.
questions about the individual who you said you learned was responsible, James Claire Haynes, but I think that kind of gets into crimes, so I'll save my questions on that subject, and I don't have any questions regarding disciplinary.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Reese?
No question.
And Ms. Kuklinski?
No additional questions, thank you.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Downs, we're going to turn to both the psychological evaluations that are in your file as well as your criminal history and just some other kind of relevant history, I'm going to call it. My first question for you, I'm curious just how you feel like the evaluation with Dr. Milky went.
I thought it was fine. He was very professional. He was attentive. He's an active listener. Oh yeah, another one of the things that we learned in class. He was an active listener. He was great. I thought he was fine.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody that actually believes you that you're innocent, is that what you're trying to say? You think that? Okay, there we go. Got it to work, Ace. There we go. Let's just have a little break over here and look at a few drawings. We'll just take a break, a much needed break from her mess. Intermission. If you need to refresh your drinks and popcorn, please do so at this time. Bathroom breaks. Significant other hugs. Maybe your dogs need to go potty. I really like that one a lot, Ace. I like that one a whole bunch. That looks really good. Okay, everybody, please get back to your seats. We'll continue on. Ace, thank you very much for sharing that with us. Those are all great, very awesome artwork. Like I said, get up on Redbubble. We'll get you out into the algorithm. You never know. You never know. You might blow up. Good job, Ace. Everybody thinks they're great. How the parole board is not laughing at her. Because they're having to type so ferociously at the same time. They really are hearing her, but they're not hearing her. Very talented. I don't draw stick people, so you got your own very special intermission today. Thank you, Ace. I would encourage all of you talented people to send me emails about things that you would love to share during our intermissions. All right, let's get back to it.
So Dr. Milky ended up giving you a diagnosis, you've seen this before, of narcissistic personality disorder. I'm just curious what you felt about that diagnosis.
I disagree with it. But the thing that mattered to me most was he wrote, Ms. Downs does not meet criteria for a major mental health disorder. And that was on page 20 of his report. And on page 21 of his report, he said Ms. Downs does not have a major mental health illness. So to me, that sticks out.
And what about that in particular sticks out to you? Tell me your thoughts.
Because the law says that if I am not suffering from a severe personality disorder, you have no reason to deny me parole. So the fact...
Okay, the reason that it sticks out to you and the reason that it sticks out to your parole board are going to be two different things. This is a 2008 report that she's bringing up. Okay, the Oregon Board of Parole and Post-Prison Supervision psychologist report said, and I quote, Miss Downs does not meet diagnostic criteria for any major mental health disorder. There is no indication of a current major health illness. It means that the evaluator did not find schizophrenia, BPD, psychosis, or another severe axis that they use out of the DSM-5 mental disorder, Diane. Not what you think. It doesn't mean that she was found healthy in like a holistic sense. It just means that she doesn't qualify for a severe clinical diagnosis that would explain or mitigate her behavior. They're not going to give her that. There's a reason that they don't just give those out willy-nilly. It's not candy. It's not candy. I know you're looking at it as a validation, but the issue is that you're not going to be let out into a mental facility so you can live out your days in another palace, princess. You're just not going to get it. So there's that. To hear those sentences to her, to Diane, was complete validation. She's going to interpret that as, I'm sane, I'm logical, and therefore I'm truthful. In her words, she said, that report proves I'm not mentally ill, yet they still call me dangerous. You build your identity, ma'am, around control and self-image. You don't want to be labeled mentally ill, but you want to be labeled mentally ill so that you can get out into a mental facility. She wants everybody to think that she's rational, not delusional, and that the system, the justice system, is simply just refusing to admit that she's innocent. Why do you guys think it stood out to her? Is that what you guys think? Do you think the same way that I do? That she's just spun out and wants to be in another palace, and she thinks that in her mind, she does want the diagnosis, but she doesn't at the same time. If they give her the diagnosis, they can move her out of prison into a mental facility, right? Because they can treat her there. So she doesn't belong in prison. Therefore, she's innocent of what she did. So it's still a roundabout, She absolutely 100% just proved her diagnosis with what she said.
That is correct.
She's definitely evil. It's not anything that drugs can treat. You don't treat narcissism with drugs. It's a badge of validation. She's always going to point to this. She's going to go back for years and years and years to that evidence that says she's fair, she's sane, she's being judged. But to them, it means something entirely different. It just confirms that she's not psychotic. She's not delusional. She knows exactly what the fuck she's doing. She wasn't driven by illness. She had intent. 100% intent. I'll stand by that. She's not psychotic. She's not delusional. She knows what she's doing. Just cherry picking things again, whatever she believes will help her. Absolutely. She just bends to whatever it is that, allegedly speculating. Says badge of validation with a side of vaginosis.
That is not correct. Because according to the Encyclopedia of...
Making folks choke out here. It's like saying someone has green eyes. It is what it is. It is what it is.
The fact that he says that I do not suffer from one, it's important.
Okay, thank you. So I am going to turn to some questions about the offense itself, and you know, as we have been talking already about today, it's, you know, the board is well aware that you maintain your innocence of the.
I'm sorry, I'm eating my Big Deborah Christmas tree. Let me swallow that and tell you what I was about to say. Where's my boy? Okay, I guess he don't want half of my Christmas tree. So the board is about to go over the crime. She's about to go over the crime, and I'm going to say, now I have not seen this. Joy probably went ahead of us. Stop it now, Joy. But I'm going to guess that she's going to deflect the entire time. The entire time. And we know that she doesn't have any remorse. We know that she's not going to admit it, but I think she's going to deflect and be condescending to the parole board and continue to do so. Thank you very much. Some content may be hard to hear, but some of the words coming out of my mouth are probably harder to hear. She doesn't suffer from it. True, everyone else suffers. Amen. Ace had to go to work. He had to go to work. You didn't skip ahead? Okay. I believe you. All right, listen to her condescending ass tell these parole board that they don't know nothing.
Offense that occurred. So I am going to ask you, because I just want to get an understanding from your perspective, because this has kind of evolved a little bit over time, and I want to have an idea of what actually today you feel like happened the night your children were shot. So from the moment that you made, and the reasons why you made the decision to leave the house, through when you ended up at the hospital, can you tell us what happened?
So now she's sitting here already thinking about the story, which one she's going to tell. He flat out told her, there has been some changes in your story over the years, ma'am. He knows she's going to spin that out. And now they're just wondering at what version, Tyler, and what version they're going to get. And now I'm curious is what she's going to say. Which version? If only she got sent to a new place for mental health, she could leave again, you know? That's also a good point. It's a good point.
Well, my kids and I went in for a penny, in for a pound.
Oh, you son of a gun. I Yeah. Yeah, mixed metaphors. The couldn't have said it better. Give Basil lots of love. Once you're committed to doing something, this is modern day speech, okay? Modern day. I don't know anything about old English. I can tell you what it used to mean, but in modern speech, once you're committed to something, especially to something risky or wrong, you might as well go all in. How does that, like, if somebody sits there and thinks about the definition of what she just said, once you're committed to something, especially something risky or wrong, you might as well just go all in. If you're going to take the plunge, go deep. We'll talk about how this applies to her freaking psychological crap as soon as she talks about this bushy hair. I know she's going to talk about this bushy-haired stranger and whatever else is coming along, but doing my patient notes, lurking but here. Thank you so much, Hannah. Allegedly speculating. Hope you get a good sleep. You just finished Googling it? In Old English, it was like if you're already risking something, if you're risking your pennies, you might as well risk a pound. Basically. It doesn't mean anything different. It just if you're already committed to doing it, if it's wrong, you're committed to doing it, you might as well just go ahead and do it. Is the way I see her. A penny a peck. You know what? This bitch.
I first arrived in Oregon. I arrived in Oregon from Arizona on April 1st. I started my job April 3rd, which was a Monday, so 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. So April 7th, I was delivering mail to the Lane County Courthouse. I had a registered letter, and I didn't know how to get it to the DA that it was supposed to be delivered. Say again?
Yeah.
With the Edicom Sheriff's Office
Yeah,
in Boise, Idaho.
So there's background noise.
I did a locate for Tom Spargus a while ago. And
We're going to pause the record real quick. I'm sorry. So
welcome in, Ava.
Camille,
Nice to see you.
I'm sorry. We're just stand by for me 1 second. We're going to go off the record for just a second.
Holding.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kins, can you please take us off the record and
Holding.
pause our
Holding.
recording, please?
Mr. Bailey, would it be possible to take a small break and ask Miss Downs to call me?
Yes, because I want to resolve something technologically on our end. So why don't we take a very brief 5 minutes, and we'll come back on the record at that time.
Thanks.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Miss Downs. Thank you.
I know we're back on the record, but I've got to tell you guys something very, very important. Hold your peas, Ava. Hold your peas. Welcome in. So good to see you. I just want everybody to know 7 minutes ago, Britney Spears reactivated her Instagram account. You needed to know that. Muy importante. Very important. Now we'll carry on.
Thank you for letting us solve that issue. We're back on the record. So, Ms. Mayhew, if you can unmute, I just want to have a quick conversation about records.
Yes, I'm here, Mr. Bailey.
Okay, thank you. So, you know, Ms. Downs has suggested that she would like to submit additional records for the board to consider. You know, I don't know whether or not that's something that the two of you have discussed, but so I just want to let you know that should Ms. Downs or you decide that you want to submit additional records, what I'm going to be asking from you, Ms. Mayhew, is some written communication to the board by the end of the day or some oral submission to the board by the end of the hearing today, either way, whichever way you prefer, with a list of exactly which documents you would like additionally to submit. And then I would allow the record to be open for 2 additional weeks to allow you and your client to submit those additional records for the board consideration before we deliberate. But again,
Well, there you go, Diane. Now you have the perfect opportunity to get all of the paperwork that doesn't exist fabricated and over to the parole board within the 2 weeks after this hearing. Congratulations.
I would like a very specific list of exactly which documents you would like to be included should you and your client decide to submit anything.
Thank you. That's really good and very reasonable. Thank you very much, Mr. Bailey.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Mayhew. So Ms. Downs, I was just asking you to kind of give me a recitation of what happened the night your children were shot, really looking at from the perspective of when you left the house and why you left the house through when you ended up at the hospital. That was the question.
All right. My children and I left the house to take a newspaper article to my friend Heather. I had only been in Oregon since April 1st. I met Heather April 3rd, our first day of work, and we stayed friends. And she expressed to me that she would like to she wanted to buy a horse. I saw a newspaper ad that said that she could adopt a horse, a wild horse. I had it in my possession for about a week, and the auction was coming up that coming Saturday. And so it was Thursday, so I decided to take it to her. So I took it to her. I went to the house, gave her the...
How she avoids the time? She avoid what time she left the house?
article. We left. We were headed home. Somebody was in the road, flagged us down. He said he wanted my car. I said, you got to be kidding. He pushed me aside. He left into the car, shot my children. I was shocked.
I know that I've been nonchalant and kind of unserious in this whole series. But her description of what happened on the night that one of her children died and the other two were injured and almost died is absolutely the most disgusting thing I have ever heard out of an offender. It is absolutely the most disgusting thing I have ever heard. And we've talked about some pretty. She just hasn't. We know that she doesn't have remorse. I don't know why I feel disappointed right now. Highly inappropriate. Highly inappropriate. You had children in the back of your car after 9:30 at night in a dark road playing a Duran Duran song, playing Hungry Like a Wolf, and blatantly, without any thought process for consequences, shot them. And I'm more upset about this shit than you are. the per like just yeah. Exactly, content. Exactly. No emotion. None. We would never manage our anger and disgust without the humor. This case is absolutely disgusting and painful too. I can't, I can't cover these cases without having to throw part of myself into it in a humorous way because I get I and I don't want to admit this because you're not supposed to show weakness, right? I could get physically ill if I don't because I'm a very visual person and I don't want to think about it. I don't want to see it in my head. But as she nonchalantly says all of these things, I'm seeing these things play out and I just can't fathom. Speaking like it's a day in the park. Yep. Yeah, Farrah Fawcett played her in the movie from what I'm told. We've definitely talked about watching it maybe in Discord content or maybe watching it over on Patreon. I think we could probably watch it on Kick too. I'm not sure. Yeah, she did. I just really appreciate you guys spending all this time with me. I mean, we're literally on the 4th day of the series, and I just really, really appreciate it. It's okay, Mustang. Nobody's gonna judge you. You're all right.
I looked through the window, I saw Christy clutch at her chest, and then she fell. And when he came back out of the car, he said again he wanted the car, and I was shoving him. The gun went off. Apparently I was shot. I didn't know at the time. I thought he had just hit me with the gun. And he fell back. I jumped in the car. Oh, I faked throwing keys. And then he lunged at me. I lunged at him. He fell back. I jumped in the car. I drove to the hospital. I honked the horn, and the nurse came running out, and I said, "My kids have been shot."
Really. She's asked once again to recount the events that happened on May 19th, 1983. That's the night her children were shot. She delivers the same story that she's been telling for over 40 years. The bushy-haired stranger, the alleged attack, the frantic drive to the hospital. Her tone. It's her tone to me. She speaks about it like a mundane, like it's an errand that she was running. There's no distress. That's the biggest part for me. I know that she's not going to have remorse. She doesn't even have really acknowledgement of how scary that night would have been. How scary it would have been to think that that you're out in the middle of the street in the middle of the night in the street and a stranger comes up. She acts like she wasn't even scared. There's no visible distress. That's the part that gets me. Not the no remorse. There's lots of people who kill other people that don't have remorse. It's like she's narrating a movie scene as a director. She's watched it too many times. She's bored with it. She's watched it so many times she's too bored with it to feel anything about it. Flat. Flat lack of empathy. Flat. See what else she has to say.
Okay. And I know this is new. This is new. The board hasn't done this in prior hearings with you until today, Ms. Downs. I just want to remind you, we're gonna do everything we can to use the kids' initials. Obviously, your children's initials, not their their names.
Yes.
So just as a reminder.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
when I asked you who you felt like shot your children, who you believe was the
Yes.
culprit, you said James Haynes is who you think ultimately did it.
He says he did it. I don't know that he did. I would like to have talked to him, but he says he did. He told his family and his friends that he did. And when we got a photograph of him in 1993, I compared it. First of all, I looked at it and said, that's him. But then you compare it to Chrissy's composite that she did a week before trial, and it looks like the same person.
Mr. Bailey, can I just interject for a second?
Go ahead, Ms. Mayhew.
Yes. I'm just going to let you know that some of the documents that we will be submitting is a list of affidavits from a large group of friends and family members of Mr. Haynes. This was litigated, or at least it was attempted to be litigated in Ms. Downs' federal habeas case by the Federal Defender's Office in 1998 and 1999. This is not a figment of Ms. Downs' imagination. This is a well-documented allegations that he had confessed to multiple people, and this is a key element of what her DNA case is about right now. So there is a lot of evidence on this, and it was litigated. One of the reasons that
There's so much to unpack here. Okay, I'm just going to go back just a little bit mentally here and just talk about what I think some of this means. Okay, so if she strips emotion out of her voice, she doesn't give the board the satisfaction of seeing her vulnerable, right? Because if she's innocent, for her, it's a play on words. She doesn't want to seem like she did anything wrong. She doesn't want to be repentant because in her mind, she's innocent. So if she takes the emotion out of her voice and makes sure she's void of any empathy or anything else, it doesn't mean that she's being untruthful. It just means that she doesn't want to show them emotion. But for the victims, for her victims, for the survivors, or anybody like us that's listening to her, her calmness doesn't sound like she's like composed. She just looks void. She looks dead inside. It sounds dead. It's the sound of a person who's rehearsed the script over and over and over. All of the human element to this has been erased. I don't see her as human anymore. She's a monster. The words are so familiar, and the absence of feeling is like what speaks volumes to me. That's the reason I wanted to go over this one first, because I have not seen her other interviews. I have not seen most anything on her, most anything that of substance on her. Just a couple of things here and there, some of the stuff that I've tried to research. But this is the one I wanted to see first because I wanted to walk it back to who we're watching now versus what we're going to see before. because a lot of people have watched this. Okay, let's go from the beginning to the end. I want to go from the end and I want to go back because I don't understand. I don't understand, and I want to understand. But this is disturbing beyond belief. It's so rehearsed. It's just disturbing. It makes it terrifying to me. Okay, and so now she's going to talk about the guy that says he confessed, this Haynes guy, and how it's in the document. So I'm going to go try to locate that, and then I want to know what it is that he allegedly confessed to, because what her lawyer is saying that it's very well documented, and then they're working on a DNA case. So we're going to hear a little bit more while I go search that out.
That she was not able to progress with this at the time was because of the certainty the state felt for the tool mark evidence, which is now actually ruled inadmissible, but that's another factor. So I just want you to know that this is a well documented situation. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Mayhew. Okay, so Ms. Downs, I've heard, I saw in the record that historically you've suggested John Kruger and Michael Hart are the same person, and that you had suggested there was DNA evidence by Hart and Kruger on chewing gum. And it sounded, so the way I read it is that you were suggesting at that time that Mr. Hart was the one responsible.
Another person that has another two people's different names, two different names that she's saying are the same people. Again, like what? Thank you, Rubber. Just because she has a foreign accent doesn't make me believe her more. That's funny. So from what I could see, she tells everybody that she's going to file a DNA motion. She's planning to file a DNA motion. She hasn't done it. The defense is hoping that she'll have new evidence that's going to reveal that she was telling the whole truth the whole time. So they haven't actually started it yet, but they're in the process of. They're planning to file a DNA motion. And the board mentions this is insane. Okay, so the board covering this mentions there's no new names, no public confessions, nothing documented that I can find from a third party that shows that anything else is under review. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I just can't find anything in the dockets or anything. No lawyer announcements, no nothing. No unpublished motion. Well, if it's unpublished, I won't see it. So if there's an unpublished motion, maybe it's just not in the docket stuff yet. So she's claiming there's a DNA-based case in motion, or she's going to file, that ties her to a confessing man. But publicly available evidence doesn't show anything. It's just her attorney's just announcing that. So, okay, there we go. Not verifiable. Same as everything else with her. Not verifiable. If you'll do me a favor, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to see you guys more often. I researched her. Colton, the only entry online credits the group with being from Arizona. She does have ties to Arizona, but I think she dreamed it up. Well, yeah, she dreamed it up. She was taking a class while she was in there, and she made the whole thing up. She made the whole thing up off of the class that she was taking. It was her opportunity to make some crap up in her head. There's a dump of evidence that both the prosecutor and defense attorney decided to omit from the trial. But it's probably a nothing burger, right? Otherwise, they would have put it in there. Yeah, she accused this class that she took. This class that she took was her way in and her newfound thought and process for advancement on another theory of who could have done what and who set her up and why they would set her up and how it ties into the prison, and she's a whole mess. Of course she did. Of course she did.
Responsible for shooting your children.
No, these are questions that I've asked. These are not allegations I've made. They're questions I've asked. We have a suspect, James Claire Haynes, but there were 4 sets of shoe prints at the crime scene. There were beer cans, several beer cans, and 1 wad of chewing gum next to the murder casing. So it's likely to be that there was more than one person at the scene. My question is, was John Kruger, Michael Hart, one of those people? That's my question. It's not an allegation. I don't know until we do the DNA test.
Okay. So your child CAD provided testimony at the trial that you shot them. I'm just curious from your perspective, 41 years later, I mean, why you feel like, you know, that was the testimony when, you know, you don't believe that you committed a crime.
I believe that CAD, and when you were fixing things, my attorney was fixing me. We have litigation with new evidence that has come up with new experts, and she doesn't feel that the parole board hearing is exactly the right place to air this. So it's something that will be coming up in a post-conviction hearing next week, actually. And
Nope.
I believe that CAD has absolutely no memory. She told them, I have no memory of this. She told them over and over and over. Every day in the hospital, they interrogated her. They act like they only talked to her once or twice, and each time she condemned her mom, but she didn't. Every single time, there are different doctors and detectives that documented in her hospital records that she has no memory. Dr. Bergamini, she has no memory. Dr. Miller, she has no memory. Dick Tracy, Richard Blaine Tracy, she has no memory.
So she's insisting that her surviving daughter, Christy, has no memory of the shooting, and that her testimony that she eventually gave was the result of everybody else's suggestions, the pressure, or somebody coached her. The investigators put her up to it, or Fred and Joan Hughey put her up to it, the foster parents. And she started saying that right after the conviction, repeats it in interviews, repeats it in letters, still repeating it to this day. She didn't remember anything. They told her what to say. It's one of the pillars of her narrative and her innocence, that her daughter's testimony was planted, and so it's unreliable. Okay, Indy, thank you very much for coming by. Thank you. Te quiero mucho también. Go to sleep. Have a good one. The verified court records say something completely different. Immediately after the shooting, Christy was critically injured and could not speak due to a stroke that was caused by her gunshot wound. It wasn't until leaks. It wasn't until leaks. It wasn't until weeks later, during her recovery and her speech was returning, she gave the initial brief response. That's common in trauma recovery, Diane. I'm sorry you don't understand that. She's not immediately going to wake up after you shot her and tell everybody that you did it. So, yes, it's going to be months later during therapy and investigation where she began to consistently identify her mother as the shooter. Her statements are spontaneous, and they were repeated through different sessions with different medical staff, different psychologists, before she ever met with the police or the prosecutors. First she tried to say her kids were forced, then she said they were drugged. The movie includes all this, Hio. Okay. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad that at least tells me we're headed in the right direction. So the daughter's testimony at trial matched all of the statements that she gave from way back, and it matches all of the physical evidence. The bullet trajectory, the splatter and the timing, all of that aligns with what the state had laid out as their theory for what had happened. And her daughter cooperated, not cooperated, but cooperated the evidence because she was able to tell them after her brain injury and her trauma that she had her memory returned gradually and consistently said the same thing over and over and over. Let's talk about why Diane is going to focus on this, though. She focuses on her daughter, her lack of memory as a control tactic. So she attacks her daughter or her daughter's memory as the one person who survived to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. She has to sow doubt. She can't refute the physical evidence. So she's going to refute the human evidence, her own child's voice. That is manipulative AF. That ought to tell us everything we need to know about the way she probably treated her children before this day. Manipulative. It reveals everything about who Diane Downs is. She sees her daughter's trauma as a tool to support her own versions of events from that day. You are pathetic. You are pathetic and non-human.
And so, but that wasn't what they wanted to hear, and so therefore they didn't accept that as the truth. And so it wasn't until later that Christy said what she said. And
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, Diane. We have to stop. We have a famous skibbity foopa flap in chat. Skibbity foopa flap in the house. I'm so excited you're here, Skibbity. You took me out of my focus there, girl. I'm so glad you're here. So good to have you in chat. Thank you so much for coming in. It's nice to see you. Skibbity. Mustang's just gonna call you Ski. Jackie. Crackerjacks. I thought her lack of emotion was because she didn't care about her kids and has no empathy. I mean, she uses this claim because it's not because it's true for her, Teresa, in my opinion, but because it's convenient. If she can erase her daughter's memory, then she gets to erase the accountability, right? If she erases what her daughter said about her, then it erases any accountability that she would have to take. That's just my opinion. Ah, skibbity, Cindy, skibbity, fupa flap. It's a mental image that Hannah cannot get rid of. I'm not saying. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, I don't see how we could have ever thought that she did give a shit about her kids. Do we have the diary anywhere? Does anybody know? Is there a diary of Diane Downs from before she was incarcerated? Ramada and Sekla Ramada says, prior to the shootings, there are reports that Diane was overwhelmed and expressed frustration with her children. Investigators noted diary entries and letters in which she described resentment or hostility towards them. Lisa says, I have yet to see her show emotion even over her child who died. No formal CPS record. Well, no, I mean, they probably didn't even have an opportunity to report this cow.
and it was slowly drawn out. The police, that she would go to her psychologist, and it says in the psychologist's report, Christy's crying because of police accusations. Well, Christy was not permitted to watch the TV, and in fact, when she was on the witness stand, she was asked, "Did you know that your mom said a man did this?" She was genuinely shocked. She said, "No, I didn't," and her face was wide open with shock. CAD, I'm sorry, was wide open with shock, and she didn't know. So
Diane's version of this is, they scared my daughter. She was crying because they were accusing me and she didn't understand what was happening. That they coached and implanted all of this in her daughter's head. Dude, she was recovering from a stroke by a gunshot wound. Her crying is emotional distress and fear. That is entirely appropriate for a child going through those types of injuries and trauma. You're as delusional as they come. Her tears are associated with recall. She's scared, traumatized. It has nothing to do with you as a mother. You scared my daughter because she was crying because you were accusing me. Me. No, Diane, no. It's hallmark. It's a hallmark of emotional recall, not suggestion from the police, from law enforcement, from the investigators, from the judge, from anybody. It's called emotional recall. She's recalling the event. Her tears are associated with that type of recall, not with being accused or led to do other things. It's sickening. You're sick. They noted that Christy was consistent and reliable. There was no coaching needed. She didn't need to be coached. She came from trauma, and it came from her own memories of being shot by her mother. You're sick. By saying that Christy cried because they accused me, she turns the focus away from the trauma that she caused her own daughter and paints herself as both the victim and a protector of this child. She's trying to gain sympathy and not show any guilt for what she did. The doctors, the therapists, the investigators, they all testified. They all testified that Christy cried when she remembered what happened, not when someone told her what to say. Her tears weren't because she was scared of the police. She can't face that those tears really meant that she was in fear of her. I saw a caption about the diary. I think it had the diary. I don't know. You have to let me know if we can find it. Your name is a result of reviewing the sloppy slapping noise in someone's chat the other night. Trip suggestion. I got about 10 days before it drops. Encyclopedia says, not publicly released in full. The complete diary is considered part of evidence exhibits in the Lane County Courthouse, so it's archived in court files, but not freely distributed. Thank you. Court archives, Lane County Circuit Court may hold the original exhibits. Access typically requires a records request or visit, possibly with restrictions due to the sensitive nature. Yeah, we need to put in a FOIA. If we're allowed, I don't even know. I'm sure people have FOIA'd this over the years. At the hands of her own mother. After a brain injury, it's common to not have control over emotional expression. That's worse in a child, I'd imagine. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That is correct.
So for her to draw a composite of a left-handed shooter, and we now know that the shooter had to be left-handed, and I'm right-handed, means that Christy saw a hand. She did not see a person, and she just doesn't remember. If she's going to remember anything, she just isn't. She can't. I'm not allowed. I'm not the expert, and I would be a fool to try to encapsulate what the expert has to say in, well, two experts in their very staged reports. So we're just going to let the post-conviction court handle that.
Okay.
And that will be added to the packet that we send you.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you, Ms. Mayhew. So, all right. So, Ms. Downs, I know you've previously reported, it's in the documents that we have, about concerns that you had about a stalker, and that you believe that a stalker may have been related somehow to the murder of one of your children and the shooting of your other children. So I'm curious, talk to me about how the stalker fits into this picture.
Again, it's not an allegation, it's a question. I don't know who did this. I don't know why he did this. I have a million questions I want answers to, but nobody in the power that has the authority to find the answers wants to help me find them. So I keep posing questions, and they keep getting turned around into allegations. I have a stalker now. I definitely have a stalker now. What I want to know is a question: was he a stalker then? Is this somebody that I ran into, somebody that I met, somebody that I don't know? And after the DNA test, if it turns out that he or his cohorts are in.
Oh, Lord, the word cohorts. I really get tired of hearing that word out in true crime. Encyclopedia Ramada says some reports noted her heart rate spiked from 104 to 147 when she saw her mother, which is consistent with fear. She recalled Diane stopping the car and pulling something from the trunk before the shooting, and she also described her mother as a perpetrator, not a stranger, which was pivotal in the investigation and prosecution. A stalker now, for fuck's sake. I know, right, Hannah? Speculating that maybe why she did use her left hand and why the other two children survived, in your opinion. That is a genius thought. Make it look like she couldn't, you know. There's no way I could have done it. There's no way because I'm not left-handed.
Gaslighter, denier, doing anything to get your ass farther.
Yeah. How is her stalker going to do anything? She's in prison. Yeah. Yep. Well, apparently the word stalker nowadays doesn't mean what it used to mean. She shot herself with her right hand, didn't she?
Involved, there are ways. Once this is all done and people realize that I'm actually innocent, somebody is going to want to know, well, what the hell happened? Somebody somewhere is going to want to know the truth. Perhaps my children. I mean, if I was CAD and if I was SDD, I would want to know the truth. So somebody somewhere, somebody has to ask the question.
So you talked to Dr. Milky about some information about the stalker individual that I think you've been talking about, and you told him that you, quote, left college without a clear cause, unquote, and that you thought your stalker had intervened to cause you to be expelled from college. I have no idea what that means. So can you help me out with that?
I can. And again, I wondered if. I didn't make an allegation. I wondered if. I was going to college and I had no problem. I had finished my associate's degree. And again, the co-chair, she knows what the layout's like, so she can explain it to you later, draw a little picture if she wants. But I had to walk from the women's prison, exit the women's prison, walk in the free world to the men's prison, and enter the men's prison every morning, and do the reverse every afternoon after school was over. So I was basically in the free world for those 2 trips every day. My question is, and all of a sudden I was pulled out of school. I had been going to school without a hitch for a year. I got my associate's degree in a year because I doubled up classes. I wasn't just going to the men's prison just to hang out. I wasn't going to school just for an excuse to walk on the outside of prison. I took double up classes so that I could get my 2-year associates in 1 year. So I wasn't trying to spend more time outside the prison. And all of a sudden, and I was in my bachelor's year, I had started my first year of my bachelor's program, again without a hitch. And all of a sudden, I was told that I couldn't go anymore. And they didn't give me a reason. I hadn't done anything differently. The prison hadn't done anything. The OSP hadn't done anything. There had been no threats in the prison as far as I knew. So my question is, did something happen? Did they get information extraneous?
Diane, you're a freaking liar who lies. We looked at all of this stuff. We know that there are several things that has to be done after her classification changes. We know that she had to have certain things in order to move from point A to point B. She was approved for quote unquote off-site study or work details under a controlled escort. They were not free world activities in the literal sense. Idiot. Stupid. Inmates are taken from one place to another under supervision to do these things. Now, it does give her more outside contact than most inmates, although she didn't deserve it. But after 1994, when she was tampering with her cell wall and removing the caulk and mortar, her custody level was reevaluated and they revoked her privileges. So her claim is that she was in the free world every day. It's wildly overstated because she had to be escorted to approved sites under custody conditions until her disciplinary record removed that privilege. Here's the psychology behind her freaking stupid claims again and why she says this. If she says, I was in the free world every day, she's going to do 2 things, right? One of 2 things. She's going to control the narrative. She's making choices because it's not a punishment. She's making the choice. I'm going in the free world. I'm not doing things. I'm not doing things to get myself in trouble. I didn't leave. And then she's reframing her success. She's showing that she's safe now and she's trustworthy now and she should be able to be out in the free world because she was already doing it and she wasn't causing anybody any trouble. She's supposed to, yeah, Lisa, she's supposed to answer, not ask the damn questions. No, it's not sped up at all. If it was sped up, girl, we'd be way past this. We're 2.5 hours in and we're still at 2 hours and 50 minutes. I feel like, I feel like she drones, but I feel like if we don't look into the reason that she's droning, then we kind of miss the point, right? She has this self-image that she's not a prisoner. She's wrong. She's wrong. She's a capable woman whose potential has been limited by jealous people who just want to frame her and vengeful authority figures who want to keep her in prison. She's totally capable of doing everything in the outside world. Her story is about being pulled out of school after her degree is letting her put herself in the role as the victim again. She's a victim of the system. I was doing so good. I was going to school. I got my associate's degree a year faster than I would have because I doubled up on my classes and I'm just such a good person. And then they pulled me out. Why? It's such a punishment. I'm being punished because I'm independent and I can do this for myself. She's a victim of the system. She wasn't walking the streets of Salem. My God, she was escorted. She was monitored. Turns everything into a damn conspiracy. Every structure that they try to give her, she makes herself an oppressed person. The structure is turned into oppression. Every rule she has to break. And it's always because someone else is overreacting. Yeah, they stole it from her. They stole her opportunities from her. I like the way you said that, Lisa. You like the pacing? Me too. Me too. Ramada was going to suggest to Hio that we extend it to 5 nights because we were having a great discussion. We're going to have to because I spoke too soon. I mean, we're barely at 3 hours in. Every accusation is an admission. She's a whole dung pile.
That is correct.
Are you trying to get us to squirrel, Hannah? You trying to get us to squirrel? Oh, this lady.
From me that I was either in danger or that they were in danger. Was somebody going to, did somebody allege that they were going to liberate me, or did somebody allege that they were going to shoot me on the way to school? I don't know. I would love to know the answer to that. But it makes me wonder. This stalker has been relentless since 1984. Okay, so was he the one that, and it's not that he's trying to get me out. He's not stalking me to benefit me. He's not stalking me to make my life easier. He's doing things that make the parole board, my administration, concerned about me. Not for me, but about me. So if that's the case, was he involved in the reason that I was unceremoniously just removed from college? Because there was no other reason. So it's a question. It wasn't an allegation. And I'll probably never have answers to these.
Are you that really? I mean, is she really that delusional that she really doesn't know that the reason that they took her out of school was because she tried to escape again? Because that was the disciplinary report that we talked about where she was taking things off of the window? There's no freaking way. That there's no way. How? Because stalking to benefit the victim is a bad thing in her head? You know, it's a good point. There's no records in any court filings or any of the parole summaries or any of the incident logs that a person has ever been identified, reported, or verified as a stalker for her. No CO, no investigator, no external agency. Nobody has corroborated the existence of a long term stalker tied to Diane Downs. Nobody. He watches you and manipulates the events around you because he's not concerned for you, but he's concerned about you. He's interfering with your mail. How? Interfering with your relationships. How? Interfering now with your education. How? And now he's interfering with the parole board, with the prospects of you getting out of jail or out of prison. How? For her, this is no more imaginary than the rest of her story. You have a few ideas? When her life produces consequences that she cannot reconcile, she has to externalize blame on anybody else. I use the quotes loosely. An unseen Alexa, stop. I'm sorry. You have to put it in quotations. An unseen manipulator. That's what everybody is to her. Nobody else can see these manipulators except for her. Everybody that's manipulating her whole entire life, punishing her, causing all of the rejection and loss and everything external for her is an unseen manipulator. She was pretty liberated in her romper. She looks like her vagina. You guys, you pulled me out of the dark place. You pulled me out of a dark place. The imaginary stalker is dancing in her mind. They're coming to take me away. Ha ha. They're coming to take me away. Hoo hoo. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. It's a phantom. It's a parade of phantoms that she has created. You can't you can't write this better than she's written this story for herself. He's not concerned for me, but about me. She perceives she perceives herself to be under surveillance. It's just a proof of how important she is, didn't you know? If she's surveilled by this one lone stalker that has changed everything around her the last however many years, from 1984 to 2025. Paranoid much? She has this belief that others are fixated on her to make herself more important. You're not even pretty. Not, in my opinion, she ain't pretty. There's a parade of phantoms. She's created these phantoms. The bushy-haired stranger, the free soul affiliate, the pen pal officer, a stalker who controls her luck now. And each one is given her the opportunity to stay a victim. Never a villain. No accountability. Her accountability wears everybody else's face, you know? But he did it, and he did it, and he did it. And as she's learned things over the years, she adds to the parade of phantoms. Bushy-haired stranger, and she was devoted, penny for a pound, right? She was devoted. Once she said the bushy-haired stranger was the one who did it, she had to stick to the story. She had to stick to the story. And then once she got out of the class and figured out the free soul affiliate had something to do with it, she's had to stick to that story too. And so not only does the bushy-haired stranger exist now, but it's evolved. It's not like she's changing the story. She's evolving the story around her. The bushy-haired stranger still exists, but so does the free soul affiliate. And the stalker. That's probably not the bushy-haired stranger and not likely the free soul affiliate. This is a totally unrelated stalker dude who's controlling her luck. This is insane. Like literally, clinically. Apparently she's not clinically insane. From what we heard, she's not.
Until somebody finally says, oh my gosh, Diane, you were telling the truth. All this time, you really didn't do it. Yes, now we can tell you why this happened. Maybe Sonia, my former warden at that time, maybe she'll tell me. So, I don't know.
Okay.
Actually, Sonia wasn't my warden when I was pulled out. It was Robert. Maybe he'll tell me.
On a first
what
name
happened. I
basis
don't
with the
know.
wardens. She's on a first name basis with the wardens in her castle. In her freaking castle, she's on a first name basis with the wardens. Her warden. They don't belong to the prison. They belong to her.
Well, that provided me some more clarity on just understanding that, and I appreciate that. So the next question I have for you is not who committed the crime. We've already talked about that from your perspective. I now want to know why you think this crime occurred.
On the advice of my attorney, we're going to let the post-conviction court handle this. During the break, when you guys were fixing whatever was happening,
Why is that funny? Why is that funny? He asks you why, and you're just going to let it lie. After 40 years, you still can't just say it. You're not going to say it. We're going to let the post-conviction... Okay, lady.
He said, let the court deal with this. This is, I'm not supposed to.
Okay, ho, you went out of jail or not? You went out of prison or not? 40 years later, you still don't have the whole story set out. You act like this just happened last week. I'm sorry, I can't talk about it. On the advice of my lawyer, I cannot talk about what happened 40 years ago. I want to get out of prison, but I'm sorry, I just can't tell you the whole story.
Because I'm a potato.
Do me a favor, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't. I would love to keep you around the channel. Her attorney told her not to say that stuff she just said, and now she follows advice? Bingo. This idiot. Stupid.
To mess up her new evidence.
New evidence?
So she had.
You haven't even filed a motion. You have not yet filed the motion for the DNA. There's no new evidence filed in a court. Even like, oh my, Diane, shut your face. You're digging yourself to China.
Has new evidence that we're just going to leave it at that. And again, it's his decision, not mine. Even if I answer what I think he did, why I think he did it, that's not evidence of anything.
When you look back on the night and everything that happened, what do you take accountability for?
Oh my God. My accountability is that I am the mom. My job as a mom is to take care of my children and protect them, which I had done for 9 years, 8 years. Christy was CAD was, it's really hard. I gave birth to them. It's really hard to consider them as initials. I love them. I miss them. There's so many things. Anyway, I'm getting off track. What do I take accountability for is that I should have been able to protect them. Even though I had no way of knowing that I was going to be meeting up with some psychopath, a stranger that was gonna want, whose mind I couldn't be in. I don't know who he is. I didn't know who he is. I didn't know what he was about.
My accountability is that I'm the mom. My job as a mom is to take care of my children and to protect them, which I've done. I loved them. I missed them. I should have been able to protect them, even though I had no way of knowing that there was going to be a stranger there. At face value, it sounds emotional, right? A little reflective of what might be, like she might be getting ready to own something. She might be getting ready to own something finally, right? Maybe? Let's see.
Didn't know that I was going to be encountering that. And so there's nothing I could have done except not be there. And so that's my accountability. I should not have been there. Again, trying to give Heather a horse. Heather wants a horse, I can get her a horse for free. That's not my job. It wasn't my horse. I was just raised to be that way. I was raised to be giving and kind and loving and considerate and
Shut the whole hell up. You are not a nurturer by nature. It's like a plot out of the Twilight Zone mixed with Orson Welles. Who's out there? No emotion, none. Disclaimer to her failure that wasn't actually a failure. The words are good, but her tone lacks depth. Absolutely. She just said, the fuck? A horse? I'm the mom. So she still wants to establish moral authority over her children. I'm the mom. You will respect that I'm the mom. I should have been able to protect them. You you couldn't protect them because you were a victim, right? We need to sympathize. She's creating sympathy. She wants you to sympathize with her because she's the victim. I had no way of knowing what was going to happen. So let's just erase anything that you were culpable of. There are people that have studied her. Hey, Case One, welcome in. There are people that have studied her for 4 decades. She intellectually understands what remorse sounds like. She just doesn't feel it. She knows how to articulate the loss and the sadness. She knows how to, but she can't get through all of the self justification to do it. It's like being fluent in Spanish, but you're too frozen to put it into play. Like, she's emotionally fluent, but she's morally frozen. You're you're reframing everything every time. She just does it a little bit differently. It's like little tidbits of things come out, but it's always different. It's always reframed. It's always reframed. Yeah. She knew they were going to need protecting. My accountability is that I'm a mom. My job as a mom is to take care of my children and protect them, which I've done. That's not accountability. We're not going to the theater. This isn't Titanic. The ship didn't sink because of an iceberg. You've literally pulled out a firearm and put it in their faces. She says she's sorry they were hurt, but she's not sorry for what she did. She claims she should have protected them, but she insists she didn't do anything. She insists she didn't cause their pain. It sounds emotional, but once you realize it's missing the key ingredients of real remorse and truth, it means nothing. It's disgusting, Case One. This is why I like going through cases like this, not just Diane Downs. I loved going through, and maybe we'll do it if you guys want to one day. I love going through the Dahmer files. I love going through the Bundy stuff. I love going through Eileen Wuornos. I love going through these different ones. Now, a lot of those people are deceased. A lot of those people are deceased, and so everything that we get is frozen in time from that era, the era that they lived in. They're they're gone, you know. But this person right here, this is 2025. 2025. She is still the same person she was. When she gets incarcerated, she's frozen in time. She's got nothing but time to sit and develop these stories and these theories and these phantoms over and over and over and over again for 4 decades. I think if I, Ava said, I think if I had to study her that long, they'd have to put me in a psych ward. It's missing everything but twisted up words. And he says she cannot be sorry they were hurt when it was her intent to harm them.
That is correct.
Yep, I agree.
Thoughtful and stupid, naive, young. I hadn't experienced that kind of violence except with Steve Downs and only Steve Downs. And so I had no reason to believe that if I stopped for a stranger on the road that something was going to happen. But my accountability is I did stop on that road. I did get smart with him. I want your car. Really? Are you crazy? What? And he was crazy. You don't call crazy people crazy because it really irritates them. But I don't know that he's crazy because I didn't know who he was. My accountability is I was there and my children were with me. That's my accountability. I should never have gone because I'm not going to leave them at home alone. So I should never have gone. And it can never be undone. And that's my accountability. That's my angst, my grief, my lack of resolution.
All right, thank you, Ms. Downs. So I do want to ask a few questions about just making sure I understand this. So prior to the shooting, you had been in a relationship with a man who documents indicate you thought was working as a detective or with.
I wasn't going to pause it here, but I'm the word accountability in by definition, in my opinion, I don't know what you guys think, but by definition, accountability would be rooting in ownership of what you did. It's like you've recognized what you're doing. And she said, my accountability is my angst, the grief, and the lack of resolution. That's a completely different emotional engine. Like, what? This harm happened and I'm responsible for it. In order for her to get that way, she'd have to have self-awareness, right? And be able to tell the truth. Admitting, understanding, accepting the consequences of what you did. It's about the other person's pain, not your discomfort and what makes you feel angst and your lack of a resolution. It's not about you. It's not about you. But everything is about you. These are feelings. Angst is an inner feeling. Grief is the pain of loss. Lack of resolution, that's a desire for closure. These are emotional reactions to what you are feeling, not accountability for what happened, not outward accountability and acceptance of the fact that you caused other people pain. You'd think she would have had a breakdown at least by now. You'd think so. You'd think so. She's a tough nut to crack, apparently. A nut job, but a hard nut to crack. She owns that it happened because she was trying to do someone a favor. Yeah, it's always about what she does for someone else. Taking responsibility for one's actions. She will never do that. Never, ever do that, Cindy. When she talks about being a mom and loving and missing her children, she is expressing grief and angst, but not accountability. But the pain and the grief and the angst is about herself, not about them. See, people might get that confused. Well, she said she was grieving. She has angst. I mean, she's feeling something, right? Yeah. Sorry for herself is what she's feeling. She feels sorry for the situation, not for her role in the situation. That's why the parole board always comes to the same conclusion. She exhibits emotional awareness but does not have ownership over it. The Nile is a river in Egypt and it's deep and wide. Nut job equals delusional. I agree. I don't know. You can't take accountability just because you feel bad. I feel bad this happened. You just have to admit that you did it. That's where the rehabilitation comes in. See, this is why everybody thinks it's retribution over rehabilitation for Diane Downs. She doesn't rehabilitate. It's not just about is she able to be rehabilitated, it's the fact that she hasn't been. Angst and grief and lack of resolution is internal inside of you. Accountability is external, outside of you. You look inside at how you feel, you look outward at who you've hurt. And 40 years later, you're still standing on the wrong side of that. $100%. 100%. There's no way else. There's no.
I know that's right.
She misses them. Not that her living children live in pain. She misses what she thinks that she's supposed to tell everybody that she misses them, but she doesn't actually miss them. She doesn't actually miss them. She probably does replay. What was that, you barking? You good guard doggies. Good guard doggy. Sorry, my babies are like ruff.
The FBI was some kind of law enforcement officer, and the reports indicate that there are documents where you talk about that he had you go into homes for him. I didn't understand what was the purpose of going into the homes? Like, what was that about?
My attorney says I'm not supposed to talk to you about that until this is all over. She has new evidence.
All right, I was doing all this talking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back just a little tiny bit and try to understand what it was that he just said. I'm going to ask you a few questions about.
Just making sure I understand this. So, prior to the shooting, you had been in a relationship with the man who documents indicate you thought was working as a detective or with the FBI, was some kind of law enforcement officer. And the reports indicate that there are documents where you talk about that he had you go into homes for him.
So before she was incarcerated, apparently she was dating a man who she thought might have been a CI or something of some sort. I guess that's what I'm reading. And he would have her go into other people's homes for him, is what, and she's just going to deflect completely from this.
I didn't understand what was the purpose of going into the homes? Like, what was that about?
My attorney says I'm not supposed to talk to you about that until this is all over. She has new evidence that I'm going to let her handle. It would be a waste of taxpayer dollars for me to step on her case.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm going to step on your case, sweet pea. I know, what? That's weird. Yeah. So she said, particularly in some of her writings and correspondence throughout the years, which she thinks that nobody has any, access to, because apparently the parole board has nothing in front of them, and neither do I. Bullshit. I need to go steal that from allegedly speculating, move that over here, don't I? We need to have that bullshit available to us. She didn't have the lie prepared for this one. Yeah. Oh, she doesn't want to talk about it because it's just a waste of taxpayer dollars, because now it's important. Before her arrest, she was involved with a man she believed was probably a confidential informant or some sort of undercover figure. He manipulated her, quote unquote, to go into homes for him to help gather information or retrieve items, depending on which version she's telling. He led her to believe that she was assisting in some kind of law enforcement operation. But again, later he set her up and abandoned her once she was arrested for the shootings. She never named the person. Well, not consistently. It's another phantom. But at different times, she's described him as being an ex-boyfriend, a government informant, and also a free soul affiliate. The first time that this came out in any of her letters and any of her appeals was still in the 80s. Not during the original trial, but in the late 80s, mid 90s. What the record actually shows is no evidence in police reports, in files, in trial transcripts that she ever worked with a CI, she was ever asked to enter homes for any investigative purposes, and any man fitting that description existed, they couldn't find him. Breaking and entering, yep. Breaking and entering. Before she went to prison, she had romantic relationships with different people. I mean, she was a bit of a whore, if I'm allowed to say, in my opinion. Nick Lewiston, an Idaho coworker, right? James Haynes, we know of him. Some other brief relationship that, and this person and that person and the father of her baby here and this person here that she slept with and this person here. I mean, God knows how many men she's probably been with. The story serves her because it allows her to put herself in a place where she was manipulated. She was an unknowing participant in her own story again. It also forms her little pattern of risky behavior, affairs, and her impulsivity, stuff like that. Someone else is always orchestrating it. Yes. Nick is supposed to be Danny's father, the 19-year-old. She's always being used for something. The CI boyfriend, like the Free Soul affiliate and the stalker, keeps her story alive. It keeps her guilt at arm's length. Don't let it in. Don't let it in. And now, deflect. My lawyer says there's new evidence. We could possibly talk about that now. I'm so sorry. I do not want to waste your time. And I do not want to waste your tax dollars on outside forces that make me do things. These are not my actions. These are somebody else's responsibility, not mine.
I'm sorry.
I'm asking you the questions and you give me what answer you want. That's how this works. So the DA's information states, I'm going to ask you the questions, you will tell me what you want to answer and what you don't. The DA's information packet states that you later learned that this individual was a drug dealer. Is that correct?
Same person?
Yeah, that's what I took it as.
Okay, same answer. I'm sorry. My attorney, no, I have to respect her wishes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a chatterbox. I'd love nothing more than to talk, but my attorney has new evidence and she knows what she is doing and I am going to let her run that.
Bear with me here 1 second.
A little bit of Lisa says, I have to go, good people. I'm too tired to continue. I'll catch the rest on replay tomorrow. Lisa, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I really, really appreciate you. Can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be on a Saturday night. I appreciate you. Sleep well. Apparently, she doesn't want out of her elegant hotel. I agree. She's a chatterbox. Just tell it. Tell it. Get the story out, Diane. You're not a danger to nobody.
So this is from the DA's submission. And I just was curious if any of this had occurred. In this, so this is from page 2 of the DA's submission. Quote, in a letter that she wrote to Jim Jagger, her defense attorney, she admitted that she had lied to him and the jury about the crime. In this letter, she abandons her prior versions of events and states that she was, quote, flirting, unquote, with a driver of another vehicle on Mohawk Road. She and the other driver pulled over and talked. She had marijuana, which they were going to smoke. Downs claimed she went to the trunk of her car to retrieve the marijuana, and that the man then grabbed her gun from the trunk and shot the children. Downs stated that she did not provide this information to investigators or the jury since she was afraid she would be frowned upon for the use of marijuana. This letter became relevant in a post-conviction proceedings, and then it goes on to talk about a little more about that. So I'm just curious, any of that occur?
No. And the letter didn't occur. That letter was not written by me. I have to do this, Venetia. I have to give at least an explanation for this.
She has to, Venetia. She has to give an explanation for this. She has to. There were several letters that Diane wrote before and after the incident. Hold on, I don't want to cough in your ear. Excuse me. The one that they're referring to is the romantic, flirtatious letter that prosecutors said she wrote to another man while her children were hospitalized. While her children were hospitalized.
When I went back, this letter was allegedly written, because I got a copy of it. This letter was allegedly written on November 7th, 1984. Just before that, I was in county jail. Just before that, the state wanted, no, Children's Services Division and CAD's attorney and my ex-husband's attorney all wanted to terminate my parental rights. There was only one person who stood up and said, I do not want to terminate this woman's parental rights, and that was Fred Hughey. After that hearing, I was so happy. I believed that Fred Hughey was going to work with me to either allow me to have visitation with my children, even if it was at the prison, or at the very least that he was still investigating the case.
You just told everybody that you didn't write that letter. So which is it, ma'am? Which is it? Investigators found that letter referenced during post-trial discussions and appeals because of the tone inside of it. She wrote in a very flirtatious manner about the man, telling him that she missed him, she was thinking of him, talked about her own situation in almost, casual way, no remorse or any reflection whatsoever, because that's her. She mentioned that, quote unquote, people think I'm crazy. Also, quote unquote, I'm fine. They just don't know me. She referred to her case and the public's reaction like it was something that we had done to her. She was very focused on the attention she was getting. She was suggesting that she might make a movie or write a book someday because people were fascinated with her. She never did talk about her child who died. It's in the documents as behavioral evidence. The psychologist looked it over, did a bunch of sites on it, and used it as evidence of her narcissism and her histrionic traits. It's part of her trial. It was only written I don't know. I don't know. I might make a movie about this. This grandiosity is disgusting and manipulative if she was flirting with this person because she just needed to maintain that male attention. I'm in jail, but I still need the boys to pay attention to me. Somebody said yesterday they wonder if she has a girlfriend. I'm curious. I'm really curious. She denied writing it, but the handwriting experts confirmed it was her. Jeez. Hannah! Blame it on the weed. Get the fuck out of here. Right? Better now that you're here. You miss this special group of awesome people. We miss you too. Oh, golly. I don't even know what you said. Oh, yeah. I think she's a ho ho ho, in my opinion. She's had more caulk than Home Depot. I love what you did there. Get the facts straight. The facts, ma'am. Only the facts. I'm willing to bet she has a girlfriend. You think so? She might. She very well might. Three hours. 3 hours. 2:59:20 is where we're at. I think that's where we'll leave it tonight with that letter that said anything but I'm guilty. She didn't write about any grief, any justice, anything about her children. She just wrote about herself. And 4 years later, right in front of her parole hearing, she just sounds like the same voice, the same script, the same hollow lack of responsibility, lack of accountability. There's no tears, there's no truth. So, anyway, let's close this chapter on the parole hearing for tonight. And I don't know, just remember the people in your life too. If people are showing you empathy without honesty, then they're just performing for you, okay? Don't let the clowns perform for you. You don't need to be performed to. Get those people out of your way. People who show you empathy and don't show you honesty are just clowns in your world. You guys, thank you for spending another night with me. I'm I really, really appreciate it. I really had a lot of fun. I'm gonna play our Guardian of Firelight song and then I'm gonna take off for the night. And we will do this. I think tomorrow we'll take a break from Diane Downs for Sunday. Monday is Veterans Day. I am going to dinner with my husband because he is a veteran of the Marine Corps, but I will still be here. We'll plan around it however we need to. Find our song. I hope you have a great night. Rubber Ramada, where's my song, girl? Where's my song? She told me to download the video and then I could play it. Or I think I can upload it, huh? Rubber. Can you upload it as a video? I think you can. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, Rubber. Thank you for that. Giving me all of the advice without giving me the advice. Let's stop sharing that right there then. And let this upload. We read what you guys are saying. Have a great night. Thank you for hanging with Yo. Always thank you for hanging with me. Hugs to you too. Your hubby's a veteran too. Thank you for your service. Thank him for his service. Thank you for your service as a wife. Thank you. Thank you. I will tell him. November 11th, 1918, your grandma's birthday. Oh. Let's see if that uploaded. It's taking its sweet time. There it goes. All right, guys. I'm going to play this song and then I'll end it out from here. I will see you guys tomorrow, regardless. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
We found the flame in the silence when the world forgot our names. Whispers turned to promise. In the dark we stayed the same. Ashes carried stories, falling stars and sleepless nights. Every scar became our glory, every shadow fed the light. We are the ones who guard the fire, through the smoke and through the fight, bound by truth, by heart, by wire. We keep the echoes burning bright. No crown, no fame, no higher name, just sparks that cut the endless night. We are the guardians of firelight.